Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind Your Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind Your Basketball. And what's good, everyone? Welcome in. Glad to have you guys in the stream being a part here on the channel today. The NBA playoffs started already, as we're just awaiting for the Cavs versus Magic to wrap up their game, and then over to the Suns versus T-Wolves. As I'll have this stream for you guys in a little bit. Right now, I'm actually on vacation. I'm over in Cape Cod right now, but gonna do my best to cover this game for you guys today. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Feel free to let us know out in the chat who you guys like for this one today here, Suns or T-Wolves, and what should be a great series. Number 6 seed Phoenix Suns going up against the 3 seed Minnesota. Phoenix actually beat Minnesota in the season series 3-0, all 3 games by double digits, as the Suns won 133-115 on November 15th, 97-87 on April 5th, and then most recently they played in the regular season finale where Phoenix won on the road at Minnesota 125-116 6 days ago, last Friday. So it's both of these teams meeting now for the 3rd time in the month of April against each other in the first round matchup, and what should be a fascinating series going down between these two teams. Minnesota with a big turnaround season this year. Last year they took on the Nuggets in the first round, lost in the first round of the NBA playoffs a year ago, but they boast the league's top defense this season for the T-Wolves, and the Phoenix been lingering around the back half of the Western Conference standings, but second half of the season making a push towards the number 3 seed for the Suns. I remember at one point they were at like number 11, number 12 in the West around like Christmas time or so, but made a big push towards the 6 seed for Phoenix. And yeah, this should go down as a really good series between these two teams because they got a lot of experience for Phoenix on their roster looking to go through, whereas everything's clicked together at the right moment for Minnesota. They were actually the top seed throughout most of this season here. Hey, what's good, Mario? We got Mario as well. Welcome in, Vegas. Glad to have you on the stream. Yes, I'm actually at Cape Cod today, so with my family at Cape Cod for me. So we got Mr. Tops over here in the room as well, so we'll have another Mr. Tops showing during halftime, and we had Mr. Tops last night as well on the stream. That was kind of like a quick stream. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna do a stream yesterday or not, but decided to do one my first stream in like a week and a half or so. So good to get back into the groove, and hopefully everybody's going well. Hopefully everything's going well out there, and yeah, this should be a good series going down. We're just awaiting for Cavs versus Magic to wrap up their game. It said 3:30 on the schedule, but we're just awaiting for tip off in a little bit. Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, I was going nonstop with a lot of the games and stuff. It My schedule starts to become slower with a lot of the stuff coming up. I'm towards like the end of the season myself. I was going like constant 4 or 5 games a week ever since the Yukon National Championship game at the beginning of the month. Like the last like 10, 12 days was crazy leading up to Thursday night, and things have like started to wind down for me. Yeah, staying sharp, doing well. Yeah, things have been going pretty well. Super rainy today. I was actually supposed to announce today, and then I was supposed to meet my family in Cape Cod later today around like 5, 6 o'clock, but my games actually got postponed from today to tomorrow. So I was able to go with them yesterday because I heard well ahead of time that they postponed the games because we've got constant rain over here. It's been a lot of rain recently. So yeah, getting in the groove, staying sharp. Wow, this Cavs Magic game is certainly dragging on because around like an hour and a half ago, I saw it was like in the early stage of the second quarter. So this game is dragging on right now. It's 88-76. 4 minutes left to play as Cleveland has a 12-point lead right now. Paulo Banchero, 24 points. Jared Allen, 16 points, 16 rebounds for Cleveland. I do like the Cavs in that series. This is a really young Orlando team. Seemed like they overachieved this season. Did a lot of overachieving for the Magic, but last year Cleveland was a super big disappointment, losing quick against the Knicks in the first round, and I think they're going to get things done this time around in their round one matchup. Yeah, so they get the graphic coming up next, Phoenix versus Minnesota. I don't know if this game's going to get moved to another network. I got it on ESPN right now. The hotel room also has ESPN News. Sometimes they put the game for a brief time over on ESPN News, but that decision hasn't been made yet, but I would imagine it would happen or so because this game and the Suns T-Wolves game is going to overlap because Orlando versus Cleveland's not going to be finishing anytime soon. Looks like we got constant fouls every like 15 seconds or so. Just had another one right there. Only 15 seconds went off the clock. Yeah, that was a tough one for Houston in the tournament. Injuries got them tough. That was too bad with Jamal Shed. Hey, what's good? Jay Ramirez in the stream. Welcome in. Yeah, this should be an excellent series coming up. I think this one could very well go the distance between Phoenix and Minnesota. A lot of people have the Suns as like a sleeper team out in the West, and Minnesota did really well this season. They finally clicked. Top defense in the league. And I believe Rudy Gobert, he's the front runner right now for Defensive Player of the Year this season for him. But Cat's back in the lineup once again from Minnesota. They've been consistently at the top all season long since the start of the season. They were between the number 1, 2, and 3 team for most of the year for Minnesota, whereas Phoenix has been able to work their way up. They were not even, at one point, I believe it was around Christmas time, they weren't even in the playing game. They were behind the playing game in 11th at one point around Christmas time, but worked their way all the way up to a 6 seed. Potentially. I potentially with coaching there, the Heat could take one, but I think the Celtics are going to do it in 4 this season. I just think the Celtics team is built different from years past for Boston, and just hope they're not going to be playing around in that first round matchup like last year against Atlanta. They have to realize that just get these series games done and over with, and just don't risk any like injury issues, and you'll be good if you're the Celtics. That's what crushed them last couple of times around. They just fiddle with other teams that they shouldn't even be playing deep series rounds against, like the Hawks last year. And the first round series for the Celtics going to be really telling, because if they do win in a sweep over the Heat, it's looking like they're going to win the championship this year for the Celtics if they do that. But if they're just fiddling around and stuff, doing what they did last year, allowing the Hawks to steal 2 in the series when they should have swept Atlanta in 4, then probably going to be a bust this year. You can't be doing that, and Joe Mazzulla has to make the adjustments come playoff time and learn from the mistakes throughout last year, what hindered them in the playoffs. Hey, what's good? Andrew on the stream, welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Yeah, things going pretty well. I'm actually away right now, so I'm in Cape Cod currently, if you guys didn't know. So the background drop, my scene looks entirely different. Cleveland about to win game number 1 over Orlando, 94-78, down to 2 minutes left to go now between the Cavs and the Magic. Excellent season for Orlando, being the 5 seed out in the East, but they don't have like any sort of playoff experience with their team. They took a major step up this year for them. Hey, what's good, Bradley? Ren Jeff on the stream. Welcome on board. Thanks for joining in, guys. Yeah, my week's been going pretty well. Been super busy for me. It's been extremely rainy where I am. Like constant rain. I've had a bunch of rainouts this year for games. Hey, JD in the stream. Welcome on board, man. Unfortunately, won't be watching any hockey tonight because I wanted to cover the second, do a second game later tonight between the Lakers and the Nuggets. So feel free to join in if you guys would like to watch the Lakers versus the Nuggets tonight. Darius Garland knocks down the 3, step back, and that's basically the exclamation point to this game as Cleveland leads Orlando 97-81 with 132 left. Yeah, I got the window in the back, so it's a little bright. Try to dampen the brightness a little bit to me. I also set my camera back a little bit further because I got the camera hitched up to a laptop, which I have on the bed. They don't have like a table that can be moved to see the TV properly because I can only swing the TV at like an angle since they have the stand glued to the top of the cabinet stand. So I can only spin the TV a little bit or so. Yeah, I've actually worn the same sweatshirt during the last stream too, which I usually don't wear sweatshirts usually. Yeah, I think SGA should be in the conversation with Jokic for MVP. He's been incredible this year. A lot of people on the ballot have Jokic as the clear-cut front runner for MVP. I'm going to go Nuggets in this series. I think the Lakers can steal one, though. At least one against Denver. Hey, what's good? Carter in the street. Welcome in. I'll go Booker for 20 points first in this game today. 97-82 Cleveland in the final minute left to go. We're just awaiting for Suns versus Minnesota to start in a little bit, wrapping up the Cavs Magic game. That game wrapped up late. It says 3:45 tip-off time. Or very close to being 3:45 tip-off time. Yeah, PC getting a couple big pickups recently. Great start to the portal there for Kim English. And Cleveland picks up a first round victory over Orlando, 97 to 83, the final score. Cavs last year eliminated early on against the Knicks in the first round, but looking to bounce back this year in Cleveland's first playoff game underway as they pick up a Game 1 win over Orlando. Oh, yeah, Drew's been amazing. Drew Holiday's been awesome. So very soon we're going to tip off between Phoenix and Minnesota. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. At halftime, we'll have Mr. Tops come out here. I'll show you guys my tortoise at halftime, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I know Mario, if he's on, he always loves to see Mr. Tops when he comes on, so I'll show him during halftime. But yeah, this should be a good series upcoming here. Number 6 seed, Phoenix Suns, taking on the number 3 seed, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Going to tip off momentarily. Yeah, no problem, Andrew. Glad to have you in the stream when you have a chance here. Yeah, so I have a pet tortoise that I have. I also have a painted turtle too, but he's at home right now because we have like automatic pellets that we drop into his tank, so he gets fed at like certain times of the day, so he can stay home for like weeks upon weeks. For the painted turtle, his name's Spike, but the pet tortoise travels with us because he's flipped over a couple times and he can't get himself back up when he flips over, so he has to go and travel with us whenever we go and travel. Starters tonight's going to look like this for Minnesota. They're going to start Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. Minnesota with the home white jerseys today. Dark blue numbers, dark blue letters with a green outline to the numbers and letters. Phoenix Suns of the road, purple uniforms with the white Suns lettering out in the front of the jersey. Their big three this season, averaging 72 points per game between Durant, Booker, and Beal. Starting 5 for Phoenix, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, Kevin Durant, and Yusuf Nurkic, the starting 5 for the Phoenix Suns. About to tip off. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and here we go. About to tip off. This game's taking place in Minnesota, the Target Center, whiteout, game number 1 in the NBA playoffs 2024. Left to right on the court for Minnesota, right to left for Phoenix, and Phoenix controls the opening tip. First possession for the Suns, Booker moves it out towards his right to Nurkic around the perimeter, hand off to the top of the key off to Beal. Bounce pass goes to the elbow off to Durant. Durant's working on Gobert, dribbles out to the right wing perimeter. Durant drives, tough jumper, no good, missed to the baseline. He's out of the play right now. 5 and 4 up the floor off the rebound for Minnesota. Top of the key, Cat takes the 3 straight away, no good. Bricked off the back rim, offensive rebound, putback is there. It is good for 2 by Jaden McDaniels. McDaniels with a putback off the first possession with a miss by Cat. Booker, possession number 2 now for Phoenix. Has it at the left wing, sends it off to Beal, moves it across the floor to Durant. Durant missed the first shot on the baseline, shot for a deep 2. Has it now at the wing. Durant drives in Gobert, step back jumper, deep 2, connects on it that time. 2-2 now, KD's on the board. First minute of action. T-Wolves cross midcourt, second possession of the game. McDaniel shovels off to Gobert around the perimeter, sends it off to Conley, lobs it over to Cat here as he works his way, backing his way on Durant. Bounce pass to the top, Conley moves it over to the corner. Here's a 3, McDaniels bricked off the rim, no good. Booker collects the defensive rebound. Devin Booker crosses the midcourt logo. Third possession of the game here for the Suns. Booker dribbles, drives inside the key, got bumped into from behind, lost it, pinned off of a T-Wolves player out of bounds, so this will stay Phoenix basketball. So lucky off that drive there by Booker. There was a little bit of contact from behind, but the referees let him play. Inbound, Durant rises for the jumper. Baseline, swooshes it. 4 points all through KD so far and 3 attempted shots to begin this game. 4-2 for the Suns. Conley moves on top. Bounce pass from Edwards off to McDaniels. Back to Edwards. Edwards accelerates downhill. His pass out to the corner deflected and intercepted by Durant. They got numbers here up the floor. Booker gives it off to Durant. Lost the handle. Turned it over. Good defense coming back. Swiping that ball loose by Edwards. Edwards, 15-footer. Nothing but net delivers. 4-4 off to Anthony Edwards J from 15 feet out. 2 minutes and 10 seconds of action so far. Booker jacks up the 3, and they're not going to count it. So Devin Booker, his 3 went off the rim, sailed to the top of the backboard, and dropped down into the net, but that is called over the top of the backboard, which is a violation there for out of bounds, so they will not count the basket by Booker there. Hey, what's good? Diamond McCrab on the stream. Welcome back in, man. Glad to have you back in. Loose ball inside the key. It's a turnover committed by Edwards, and Edwards commits the reach and fall from behind, too, as he picks it up off the loose ball, reaching into Durant. So bad sequence right there for Edwards. Just trying to do a little bit too much, trying to slice between a double team inside the key, dribbling in between Nurkic and Beal. Lost it. Durant came up with a steal, and then it resulted in a transition take foul actually picked up by Edwards. So that's rolled a technical, and this will be 1 free throw at the line. It's good by Durant. 5-4 now, all 5 points through KD to begin this game, and Phoenix gets the basketball. Suns get the inbound. Under 9.5 left to go in the first. Oh, nice dump off. Beal passes off the roll down. Nurkic flushes it down with a two-handed flush. Good job right there off the pick and roll by Yusuf Nurkic, just rolling straight down to the hoop. Nobody able to pick him up at the rim. Leads to the open two-handed jam. Missed shot around the rim. Gobert cleans it up, though, with a two-handed flush. 7-6 now. First 3 minutes of action in this game. Going to be a good series between these two teams. Nurkic moves it over to Durant. Durant has it at the right wing. Durant got 5 out of the 7. Float to the runner, looking for more. Missed off the mark. Nurkic battle for the rebound. In and out of his hands, but for the backside, Gobert picks up the loose ball foul. That's now the second personal foul of the game, charged to Minnesota. Yikes. Yeah, that's tough there for the Magic. Young team, they overachieved this year for Orlando, but I do like Cleveland to get the job done this year in that series. Approaching 8.5 left to go. Wide open 3 by Nurkic from the perimeter. Missed off the mark. No good. Tipped by Gobert. Taps it over to Edwards, who collects the defensive rebound. Edwards, kick out corner. Conley laces up a 3. And the referees will wave it off right now. We'll say Grayson Allen picks up a foul out in transition away from the basketball here. So inbound goes back over to Minnesota. Conley, crossover at the wing. Conley dribbles up inside the key. Conley with a left hand. Tough shot, no good. Miss from short. A lot of contact. No call, though, as that was clean defense. Displayed that time by Grayson Allen. Booker dribbles up inside the key. Weaves his way. Booker from behind got rejected by McDaniels. Saved in the corner. They got numbers here up the floor. 5-4 for Minnesota off the block. Leads to the transition 3. And they drill it. Edwards trifecta from downtown as they take the lead for the first time today for Minnesota. Whole crowd goes wild. 7:45 left to go in the first here. Top of the key for Beal. He dribbles, drives inside. Beal swings it off to the right corner. Grayson Allen working on one defender. Works on McDaniel. Soars past him. Allen dump off down low over to Nurkic. Nurkic double teamed underneath. Nurkic no good. Missed it over Gobert, and the rebound gets controlled by McDaniels. who is underneath as well. Tough defense for the top defense in the league for the T-Wolves this season. Turnaround jumper, mid-range. Conley, no good. Tip back over to Conley. Offensive rebound, floats it up. A lot of contact there. No call by the refs. Referees letting these two teams play right now. Going constant without too many whistles as Durant attacks inside the key. Banks it up and in. Good for two. 9-9. Kevin Durant, 7 out of the 9 so far. Under 7 minutes left to go in the first, and an excellent start to this series here. At the top, Edwards jacks up the 3 straight away. It was halfway down, no good. Pinwheeled around the rim and out. It goes back over to the Suns. Durant at the right corner. Dribbles up to the elbow. His classic spot. Takes the jumper. Sinks it. Kevin Durant showing up big right now. 9 out of the 11 total on the scoreboard for the Suns. Edwards brings it up the floor at the left wing perimeter. Bounce pass goes over to Gobert. Backs his way low post. Brings along a double team. Oh, what a pass there. That was Cat who found Gobert off to the cutter. Behind a back pass by Cat. Leads to the jam by Gobert. We're tied 11-11. We take the first time out on the floor today. 11-11. Right now with 6:18 left to play as we go back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, I'm thinking a sweep this year for the Celtics. They should not have any business playing a deep series against that Heat team without Jimmy Butler. This Celtics team just looks like they're different this year with Porzingis and Holiday. Right now, to the first time out, we're tied. If you're doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. And Kevin Durant putting in work so far in this game, knocking down his shots. He missed his first shot from the floor, has made every single one but one ever since after that. 9 out of the 11. Through Durant. Nurkic with a two-handed jam. He's got the other 2. Minnesota, it's been 5 points by Edwards. One of his shots he made, he buried a 3. 4 points by Gobert. Just received the pass from the cutter and drew down the flush. And that was an excellent find by Cat, who recorded his first assist of the game. Yeah, these first-round games, they always seem to stretch out the series, so they'll make it 2 weeks for the entire series, but they'll stretch it out, and that's what the NBA is doing. I feel like it's more so the Celtics series because they got a lot of gaps in between their first 3 games that they have. Boston plays on Sunday, Wednesday, and then Saturday, so they got a lot of gaps to begin the first week, and then after that, if it does go into a second week, it would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. If there is a Game 7, that's how deep it will go into the following week. So these playoff series last around like 2 weeks or so. If it happens to go into a Game 7 if necessary. And feel free to join back in later tonight. I also plan on covering the Lakers against the Nuggets. So I posted my upcoming streaming schedule out in the community tab as well. So I plan on covering a lot of the playoff games upcoming in the future. Unfortunately, I won't have the Celtics game for tomorrow. My game for softball got pushed from, it was supposed to be this afternoon, and then since it rained today, it got pushed to tomorrow afternoon. So unfortunately, I won't have the Celtics game for Game 1. I plan on covering Game 2, though, on Wednesday for the Celtics. But all my upcoming streams that I plan on doing is out there on the community tab. (11-11) to the first time out. Cat coming back from injury recently. He's only played 2 games since his return. Missed the previous 18 games due to injury. 6:18 left to go in the first as we come back from the timeout. Phoenix with the possession, right to left on the floor. Beal dribbles up to the low block. Bounce pass gets sent to Nurkic. Nurkic dribbles back out. Floats the pass off to Durant behind the defense. No good. Got swatted by Gobert. And Minnesota comes out with the basketball here. So Rudy making a big impact there defensively. What could very well be the defensive player to hear. Oh, that's a nice move there. Weaving his way in between the defense. Edwards scores with a teardrop for two. Lob in transition. Durant couldn't finish on the alley-oop jam as it goes back to Minnesota. So an uncharacteristic finish there by KD. Edwards, floater blocked by Nurkic. Nurkic up the floor, bounce pass off to the trailer. Devin Booker inside the key. Booker floats the pass up. Nurkic snags it. Nurkic underneath backdoor scores up and in off the backboard. 13 even. Somehow, someway able to make that play work out in their favor for the Suns. Conley. Hand off to McDaniels, back to Mike Conley. Lobs it off to Cat here. Cat floats up the shot at the baseline, couldn't convert. The rebound goes to the defense with Durant. Booker, yet the score, looking to change that here. Jacks up the three, he does. Devin Booker, trifecta from downtown. Under 5 left to go in the first. Back and forth, 16-13. Phoenix has a 3-point advantage. Mike Conley dribbles up, drives inside the key, floats the pass out right corner. McDaniels, baseline dribble. McDaniels floats it up over the top for Gobert, who throws it down with a two-handed flush. Alley-oop jam by Rudy, 1-point game. Gobert's got 6 out of the 15 so far today. Beal at the elbow. Oh, fires the fastball inside. Nurkic with a right hand. Scoop score up and then off the glass over Gobert. Good for 2. Back and forth right now. Starting to get baskets recently. Edwards dribbles at the top. Bounce pass off the roll down. Gobert lost it out of bounds. That's a turnover. Went off a Rudy last off the roll down. And the ball go back into the hands of the Suns. Three-point game currently. Phoenix went 3-0 in the regular season. All 3 victories came by double digits against Minnesota, too. A lower seed in this bracket as a 6 seed in this first round matchup compared to Minnesota as the 3 seed right now, and the Suns with the possession. Approaching 4 minutes left to go in the first. Booker has a 3, looking for more. Booker, jumper, 14-footer, and he drills it. 20-15, largest lead of the game now for the Suns. Devin Booker works his way up to 5, finding a groove currently. McDaniels turns the corner, drives with a left hand. He scores the layup. Suns will slow down tempo here. Booker, crossover, dribbles up, drives to the elbow. Booker moves it out right corner into the hands to Durant. Durant backs his way in McDaniels. One-on-one, Durant and McDaniels here gets called on the reach-in foul. So we're down to 3:19 left to go. First quarter. Substitution right now for the T-Wolves. Kyle Anderson checks into the game first time today. Jaden McDaniels takes a seat on the bench. Naz Reid also on the floor as well as Cat comes off towards the bench. Backing his way. Down low. Jumper Durant. And he puts it through. It's good for 2. 22-17 for the Suns. Kevin Durant pouring in buckets right now. Half of the points in favor of Durant for the Suns on the scoreboard. He's got 11 out of the 22. Edwards at the top. Dribbles up. Drives. Kick out to the corner. The 3 on its way. Splash. That's good for Minnesota. They draw winning 2. 22-20. That's Nickeil Alexander-Walker with bench points on the board for the T-Wolves. Missed 3 around the perimeter by Durant. It goes back to Minnesota. Chance to tie with a 2. Chance to take the lead with a 3 this possession. Edwards towards his left around the perimeter. Has it at the right wing. Crossover. Moves it out to the left wing. Naz Reid with a 3. And he hits it. Naz Reid, bang bang from downtown. It's a Minnesota lead. 23-22. Under 2:20 left to go in the first here as we go back and forth. Durant, kick out left corner and deflected out of bounds. Last off a T-Wolf. Kevin Durant, half of the points so far for Phoenix, 11 out of the 22 in a groove to begin this game. Minnesota able to balance up the points so far in this matchup. 7 by Edwards, leading the way. 6 by Gobert. 5 off the bench by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. 3 by Naz Reid. 2 by Jaden McDaniels. Both of these teams are two of the top-tier three-point shooting teams in the NBA this season. The T-Wolves firing from 3. 3 for 6 from the perimeter to start things off as we take the timeout. All right, 2:10 left to go in the first. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell to be notified here for future live streams on the schedule, and hopefully everything is going well for all you guys out there. Let me know out in the chat who you're rooting for, too, in this game today here to take as the winner. Type it in, Minnesota or Phoenix. First game earlier this afternoon, the Cavs picked up a Game 1 victory over Orlando in a defensive battle. 97-83 the final score. Donovan Mitchell dropped down 30 for Cleveland in the win. Franz Wagner finished with 18.7 rebounds and 3 blocks for the Magic. Hey, what's good? Christian on the stream, welcome in. Yeah, I heard about that. So congrats out to Mark Pope, the former head coach for BYU, as he replaces John Calipari, the new head coach now of Kentucky. Yeah, a lot of Kentucky fans aren't too high about Mark Pope being the new head coach. I mean, they got to give him a chance, though. It's going to be a totally different roster for next season. Basically, they lost everybody from last season's roster, so he's going to have to start out fresh. Hey, what's good? YNW on the stream, welcome in. He likes the Suns for this one. Glad to have you guys in, being a part in the stream, and this should be a really good series. I think this is going to be a deep series. Like, we get at least 6, I can picture, most likely 7. I think this one has a good chance to go to distance. The Clippers Mavs series as well. That's a really good series also. Both of those series matchups, the 5 versus the 4, this is the 6 versus the 3 in the West, and I think those two series in particular have a chance to go the distance. Yeah, the poll right now is pretty even, too, so if you haven't voted in the poll, make sure to do so, as the T-Wolves are leading by a slim margin, 51-49. Justin Jefferson in attendance, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, in attendance now at the Target Center, watching the T-Wolves. Yeah, Denver last year, they said the only team that basically posed them as a challenge in their championship run was Minnesota, that first round matchup. Hey, I really like what Pat Kelsey's doing. I have no clue what the roster is going to look like for Kentucky just yet, so I can't really speak about Kentucky because it's going to be a totally new roster, so it all depends on how they construct the roster, because he's going to have to bring in a bunch of new players to make the roster possible. But I really like what Pat Kelsey has been doing in the portal right now. That's a turnover committed up the floor there by Phoenix as we come back for the timeout. Naz Reid attacking inside the paint, got it blocked out of bounds, and it will stay T-Wolves ball. Under a minute and a half left to go. Inbound goes out to the left corner. Cat has possession. Brings along a double team. Cat looking to get it the way he does into the hands to Reed. Reed drives inside the paint. Reed no good off the rim. And referees here will call goaltend though, they say. So a lot of purple uniforms in the area. Drew Eubanks was one of them, and he gets called on the goaltend, as that'll be a bucket awarded to Naz Reid. 3-point lead now for Minnesota. Phoenix with a possession. Beal crosses the midcourt logo, moves it off to Booker. Booker drives up to the left elbow, gets the ball away. Wide open three. Royce O'Neal, and he buries the three. There was two players tangled up underneath the hoop. Drew Eubanks and Naz Reid. Today the referees have let both of these teams play on. There were two players tangled away underneath the hoop. And the referees didn't blow the whistle whatsoever to drive down low. That will be an offensive foul. Edwards lowers the shoulder on Eubanks off the drive, off the Euro step. Eubanks takes the charge. This is going to be Phoenix basketball. So now Edwards will take a seat on the bench. We're down to 46 seconds left to go in the first. So McDaniels will check back into the game. 25-25. Game 1 of the first round of the playoffs. Phoenix with a possession. Beal at the right wing perimeter, target center logo. Moves it on top off to Royce O'Neal. He attacks off the dribble drive downhill. No good. Missed off the mark. Tipped up for the defensive rebound. Hauled in by Karl-Anthony Towns from Minnesota. Nikhil Alexander-Walker up the floor. Finds Cat. Cat drives inside the paint. Cat off the glass. No good. Got in between two defenders. No one fouled. And that'll be charged to O'Neal on the shooting foul. This will be two free throws coming up here by Cat with 19.2 seconds left to go. Chance to break the tie right now for the T-Wolves. Cat just recently came back too. They played 2 games in the month of April already, and Phoenix won both of those games by double digits. 3-0 in this year's series. A win in November by double digits, and then 2 wins in April by double digits. Durant will check back into the game. First one is good by Anthony Towns at the free throw line. Second shot coming up here by Cat. 19.2 seconds left to play in the first, and the free throw is good. 2-point lead now as we go back and forth, back and forth. A really, really solid first half between these two teams in the first quarter. Close and competitive all throughout. Phoenix has the chance to attempt the last shot here to close out the quarter. 10 seconds left to go as they dribble up to the free throw circle. Bounce pass out to the right wing. O'Neal gets the way off to Beal. Booker back outside. Beal, bounce pass, right wing, a 3 right before the buzzer, and it's good. Royce O'Neal lays it up a 3, and he drills it at the buzzer. 28-27 to close out the end of the first quarter, as Phoenix able to make a buzzer-beating 3. Good ball movement, working their way around the perimeter from Booker to Beal, off to O'Neal, as Beal was able to push it towards his right off one bounce pass at the right wing, where he found a Royce O'Neal, and he sizzled down a triple as the time expired off the clock, right at the buzzer to close out quarter number 1 of action. 28-27. This is a good foreshadowing that we got a great game upcoming here. What should be a excellent final 3 quarters. Back and forth, back and forth. We're through 1 in the books right now. A 1-point advantage for Phoenix. Wow, what a start to this game so far. If you're doing a stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe ring the notification bell as well. I'm wearing a Callaway sweatshirt right now, so I'm not really like a big golf fan, but somebody got it for me a couple of years ago that I have. I usually don't wear sweatshirts that much on my stream, but where I am, it's quite colder than usual. Durant's got 11 out of the 28. At one point, he had half of the points. He had 11 out of the first 22 in this game for KD. 11 points in 11 minutes, though, leading the way, knocking down deep two after deep two for Durant. 5 for 9, all with a deep two so far. 6 points each between Nurkic and O'Neal. O'Neal just buried down a big three. He's perfect, 2 for 2 from the perimeter. 5 points by Devin Booker so far today, and Bradley Beal yet to score, yet to even attempt a shot in the first quarter by Beal. Minnesota led by Anthony Edwards. He has 7 currently, 6 points by Gobert, and then 5 off the bench each between Naz Reid and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. One playoff game already wrapped up. Cleveland up 1-0 in a series with a win over the Magic this afternoon, 97-83. The final score. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Yeah, I read that quickly. I saw just what am I wearing? I'm wearing I got my Celtics cap on, so repping Boston. I misread hat in there. I just saw like from the text, what am I wearing? Because I went quick to the text there. Hey, what's good, Jason on the stream? Welcome in, man. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I usually don't wear sweaters that much on my stream, but it's been cooler over here than usual, so I had to break out one. But yeah, I got the Celtics cap on. I was debating on which one I was gonna wear, but I took the Celtics cap with me for this weekend. Yeah, a little bit of a lighter shade of green instead of a darker shade of green. Here we go, second quarter of action about to begin right now. T-Wolves have it first, left to right on the floor. Conley takes a three, missed off the rim, no good. Tipped up, and they get the tap in, though, for 2. 29-28. That was Naz Reid who was able to tip it in. Into the cylinder and behind the defense. Good patience with that possession there. Attacking and taking it the distance. That's the first shot attempt of the game by Bradley Beal, and he scores downhill to the rim for the layup. Back and forth now. 30-29 Phoenix. Reid, crossover, free throw circle, moves it off to Anderson. Anderson drives downhill and floats up the runner, banks it in. 10-footer, able to cash it. High off the glass for 2 by Kyle Anderson. First minute of action here in the second, almost through. Nurkic dribbles up to the right elbow. He's guarded by Gobert. Handoff, turning the corner. Beal floats the pass out left corner. Left baseline dribble for the Suns. Pass got deflected, and Phoenix commits the turnover, so that's going to be charged to Eric Gordon. Stepped out of bounds off the baseline dribble. Hey, what's good, Michael on the stream? Welcome in. Yeah, things going pretty well, man. We have another quick whistle here on the floor. That's charged to Phoenix away from the ball. Picking up a foul, so 2 quick whistles here. Skip pass out to the corner. Anderson. Jumper, 13-footer, bricked off the back rim, no good, as Grayson Allen collects the defensive rebound. Allen on the floor with O'Neal, Gordon, Nurkic, and Beal. That's the 5 in the court currently for Phoenix. Trying to dribble around the screen. There was heavy contact there. O'Neal got bumped into by Anderson, and Anderson picks up the foul. This thing's getting really choppy right now. Physicality picking up at the start of the second quarter. And, it's a good sell job right there by Royce O'Neal. The pass out to the Cutter here with Bradley Beal. Scores the layup and one coming up at the free throw line. So a little bit of pain right now getting up, but able to get helped out to his feet right now for Bradley Beal. So good to see he's able to get back on the court. Yeah, he gets clipped by Anderson from the backside. He was holding his right knee after he finished in the layup here. So let's see. Goes past Anderson. Gobert was right behind him. And he finished with a layup, got clipped in the backside of the play from Anderson. Anderson's a little hobbled right now. So Kyle Anderson heading towards the locker room. Little hobble too as he clipped Beal as Beal was able to finish at the rim for the and one. The free throw by Beal. No good. Missed the free throw, so it stays at 2. And couldn't convert to make it a 3-point play. 4 points now for Bradley Beal. Minnesota down by 1 with possession. Naz Reid receives it, attacks inside the paint. Reid, as bodies are flying everywhere as he goes up, gets fouled hard. That's going to be charged to Nurkic now. Holy smokes, bodies flying all over the place to begin this second quarter. Naz Reid, 2 free throws. First one's good. .32 even. Second free throw, pinwheeled around and in. Back and forth, 33-32. Naz Reid, 5 minutes, 7 points scored via the bench. One of the top 6-man candidates this season. This ball gets stolen away by Alexander Walker. Outside finds Reid. Takes the 3, missed off the mark as Gordon collects the defensive rebound for Phoenix. Under 10 minutes left to go before halftime. Eric Gordon. He's defended by Conley. Dribble, drives inside. Dish out to the baseline off to Nurkic. Bounce pass. As he thought about what off to Gordon. Instead goes off to the cutter downhill and couldn't finish. Missed the layup there with Beal. As it goes back to Minnesota. Out to the corner. Up fake. Naz Reid finds his open man. Top of the key. Alexander Walker couldn't convert. And off the fingertips out of bounds. Royce O'Neal. It's going to stay Minnesota possession. 9:25 left to go in the second. Durant will come back into the game right now. So KD has 11 out of the 32. Basically almost a third of the points. At one point he had half of the points. 11 out of the first 22 in this game for Durant. So he's going off early on in the first quarter. McDaniels checks back in right now for Minnesota. Naz Reid will take a seat on the bench. Inbound for the T-Wolves. Jumper, mid-range. That's good. Three-point advantage now for Minnesota. Able to up their lead. That's bench points too. Former Denver Nugget Monte Morris, who just made the last jumper, took the 3 as well in transition. Morris couldn't drill that triple, though, as it goes back to the Suns with a rebound. Allen sends it off to Nurkic. Nurkic pass off to the cutter. Backdoor, and a score for 2. Bradley Beal up and in off the glass. 35-34. Alexander Walker. Wide open at the wing. Spots up, takes the 3, makes the 3 from downtown. Finding their rhythm for the T-Wolves from the perimeter. That's been key so far in this game today. Beal shovels off to Nurkic. Bounce pass baseline. Durant took the jumper. Misfired. Off the back rim. No good as it goes back to the T-Wolves here with a rebound. Mike Conley. Handoff around the perimeter. As it goes over to McDaniels, working his way inside, floated up the shot, over the cylinder, offensive rebound, Gobert, no good, and the ball pinwheels out of bounds off of Phoenix last, I believe, here, and yes, it was off of Nurkic last at the baseline. This will stay Minnesota possession. Edwards checks back into the game, so he comes back in now for the T-Wolves. Nickeil Alexander-Walker takes a seat on the bench. This will be 5 seconds on the shot clock right now for this possession for Minnesota. 7:55 left to go in the game clock in the second quarter. Colley, bounce pass, deflected. And referees will stop time. They're going to put back a new 14, so they said it was a reach-in picked up there for Phoenix. Hey, what's good? FN, Jeffrey in the street, welcome in. I like the Nuggets to come out of the West once again this year. Mike Conley off the spin move, 15-foot turnaround, connects on the 2. That was when the buzzer was about to sound right there with the shot clock winding down. That's a tough degree of difficulty for Mike Conley. That's his, right now, the largest lead of the game, a 6-point advantage for the T-Wolves. Booker at the left wing, bounce pass underneath, Nurkic wide open. Gets the go, good for 2. On the back end of the play, a bad foul picked up too. I think it was Conley from Minnesota who picked up a bad foul. Backside of this play, let's see here, off the bounce pass, yeah. Conley came in, reaching in from behind, picks up the foul. That results in an and one coming up by Nurkic. So Nurkic makes a wide open, easy layup, and then from the backside of the play as he was going up, Conley, all you have to do is just let him get his 2, and instead Nurkic shoots the free throw. He missed the free throw as Gobert comes down with a defensive rebound. So luckily there for Mike Conley, Nurkic wasn't able to cash in on one to make it a 3-point game. 4-point advantage here for Minnesota. Edwards back into the game. Edwards drives, kicks off to the corner. McDaniels with a player down with Durant. Able to get back up on his feet, though. Drive, kick out to the corner once again. McDaniels, left baseline dribble. His pass broken up inside. Loose ball, tie up. And this will be... We're going to have a jump ball. I think we're going to have a jump ball right here. Believe we're going to have a jump ball coming up after this timeout. Couple big made threes, though, in this game for Minnesota as they keep on dialing up some massive shots. Mike Conley made one off the turnaround a couple moments ago. Seems like they're shooting much better than 4 for 12 from 3 because the threes that they've made have been massive in this game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he made the last 3 from the corner. He's got 10. He's the top scorer. The T-Wolves have 8 different scores so far today. Phoenix has a team with 5 different scores right now. We take the timeout. Alright, so we got 7 minutes left to go before halftime. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. And good to be with you guys tonight for this one here. I'm actually away on vacation right now with my family. We're over in Cape Cod for today. We'll have to see what happens with Doc Rivers in the playoffs coming up. I'd be shocked if they actually get out of the East with Doc as a head coach. This has been a really good battle right now. Minnesota is plus 10 on the glass, 20-10 currently. Largest lead has been 6 points by Minnesota, 5-point lead by Phoenix at 1 point in this game. Not many turnovers either. Minnesota leads points in the paint 22-18, and Phoenix more so of a mid-range scoring team with Durant and company. They're shooting 53% from the floor, but still trailing today. Minnesota's been held at just under 46% currently from the floor. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's got himself 10 points right now, leading the way. Bench scoring, looking solid to begin this game for the T-Wolves. They have 8 different scores. Phoenix needs their big 3 to all get going. Durant's got 11. He got out to a great start. Booker's got just 5 right now on 2 for 5 shooting. So we come up out of the timeout. 7 minutes left to go before halftime. Booker at the right corner. He's working on Gobert one-on-one. Gets past him. Goes back door. Scores the layup. Up and in off the glass. Good for 2 by Booker. 2-point game. What's good, Ashton on the stream? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Monty Morris. He is on the floor with Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, and Jaden McDaniels as Cat floats up the shot, banks it home, and one. Coming up with a free throw line by Cats. 42-38 Minnesota. Cats working on Durant. One-on-one. Absorbs the contact by KD and gets the and one. Pumps up the crowd right now for Karl-Anthony Towns. Slow start for him today. Up to 4 now, though, for Cats. It's on 1 for 3 shooting, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. One shot here at the free throw line by Cat, right down the middle. 5-point game. Beal on the floor with Booker, O'Neal, Durant, and Drew Eubanks. Booker guarded at the right wing perimeter by Monty Morris. Booker dribbles up top of the free throw circle, elevates for the J. Deep 2, bricked off the back rim, no good. The defensive rebound hauled in by Edwards for Minnesota. Edwards up the floor, takes the 3 off the rim short as Durant collects the defensive rebound. Past the midway mark of the second quarter right now. Durant has at the left wing. He's defended by Naz Reid. Durant, top of the key. 10 in the shot clock. Durant drives inside. Slices defenders. Right to the cup. Couldn't finish on the backside, though. He gets fouled, and Naz Reid is hobbling on 1 foot currently. As Durant here going wrap around with a layup. Let's see. You got Naz Reid clipped, and then Naz Reid came down with a rebound. Started hobbling off 1 foot. Haven't seen another replay shot of that, though, but both of these teams now in the bonus. 5:43 or 5:34 left to go before halftime. First free throw missed at the line by Durant. A really good game between these two teams so far today. 6-point lead by Minnesota, the largest one of the game. 5-point lead by Phoenix, their largest lead. Hey, there we go. The Tigers won last night. That's awesome, man. Second free throw by Durant, right down the middle. 4-point game here. Yeah, that injury seems like it's more severe than what is being reported about Giannis's calf injury. Towns attacks inside the paint, passes off to Reed, and it got deflected out of bounds off of Beal last. So this will stay Minnesota possession. Yeah, I just can't trust Doc Rivers in playoff games. By the way, Indiana's 4-1 in the regular season against Milwaukee. So it wouldn't shock me if Indiana picks off Milwaukee in the first round. I actually have the Pacers in my bracket to do that because I just cannot trust Doc Rivers at all as a head coach. Basically, Milwaukee's been a 500 team this season ever since Doc Rivers took over as head coach. Jumper at the baseline, missed off the mark, no good by Booker. Booker off to a slow start in his first half of action. Both of these teams in the bonus right now, under 5 minutes left to play here before halftime. Edwards, crossover, working on Booker. Edwards, jumper, baseline, and it gets fouled. So we're down to 4:50 left. It's charged to Booker. And this will be 2 free throws coming up by Edwards in the bonus now, shooting 2. First one, no good, around the rim and out. Second one's good by Edwards. Tigers play the Twins tomorrow at 2:10, so it's at Minnesota tomorrow. It's 44-39. Edwards up the lead of 5. Edwards attacking inside the paint. Couldn't posterize it over Eubanks. They cut it back, though, and Towns was able to finish for the putback. 4:23 left. A little bit of momentum here for Minnesota. Edwards, spin cycle, got past Durant, couldn't finish. A poster opportunity over Drew Eubanks, but Cat right back to trail behind the play. Finished with a putback for 2. It's now 46-39. Largest lead in the game for the T-Wolves as we take the timeout on the floor. All right, so right now on the timeout, if you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe as we head over to this timeout currently. With a really good, close, competitive game all throughout the course of today's action. And coming up during halftime, we'll have the little guy as well join me in. So Mr. Tops will be a part on halftime for his next showing here on the channel. So if you haven't seen Mr. Tops at all this weekend, you have a couple more opportunities to do so. We'll have the next one coming up at halftime, which is right now around under 4.5 minutes away as we'll get to halftime. Cavs beat the Magic in Game 1 this afternoon, 97-83, the final score. This is the first, that was the first game. This is the second game out of 4 today. I'll be back as well later tonight covering the Lakers at the Nuggets, so feel free if you guys would like to join in for Lakers versus Nuggets later tonight, feel free to do so. Dominant start on the glass in this one from Minnesota here. Minnesota's doubling up Phoenix on the rebounds, 24-12, 7-0 offensive rebounds. Second chance points been a major factor in this game so far today in favor of the T-Wolves. Next stream will be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, Celtics have stayed relatively healthy throughout the entire season for them. So hopefully we'll get Cornet back healthy soon too. Seven-point game about to get back to action here as we're down to 4:20 left to go. Kevin Durant got out to an excellent start, 4 for 5, but ever since he's been shut down, just 1 for 6. Shooting in his previous 6 shot attempts on the floor. Durant rises for the jumper at the elbow. He responds. Deep 2, drills it, 5-point game. Final 4 minutes left to go before half here. Both of these teams in the bonus currently left to right on the floor for Minnesota. Cat dumps it off to the trailer, downhill to the rim. It is good in the layup by McDaniels, +1. 48-41 and the foul. Got clipped from the side. That was by Nurkic. Finishing at the rim. That's been a big key so far this game for Minnesota. And the free throw is good. Largest lead of the game, up by 8 now for the T-Wolves. Passing off the roll down. Nurkic, kick out corner. Durant, they moved around the perimeter. A 3 taken by Beal, missed off the rim. A rebound secure by Edwards. Chance to go by double digits right here. Cat off the roll down. Edwards underneath these scores, up and in off the backboard. A 51-41. First double-digit lead of the game. Hey, what's good, Jeffrey in the stream? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Yeah, I had said it once you jumped in, but maybe you had left and didn't hear me or so. But welcome in, man, and hope all is going well. Yeah, today they get the Xfinity race. I'm hoping Chase Elliott wins tomorrow for the Cup race. Ooh, Edwards. A little bit shaken up. We saw the camera just flip over to Edwards just a moment ago. Durant went to the free throw line, made both of the previous free throws. Yeah, no problem. Enjoy the rest of your night, Jeffrey. Thanks for joining in, man. Durant got himself up to 16. Cats lost the ball, looking for the foul call. A lot of contact off the spin move there, but no call by the referees. Durant gets it from Allen. Durant draws a double team. Bounce pass Grayson Allen. Lobs it off to Durant. Durant double team outside Allen. Laces up the 3, and no good as it went wide right. And it goes back to the T-Wolves here, up by 8. Minnesota around the perimeter. Mike Conley moves it off to Edwards. Bounce pass goes over to Cat, and Cat, a lot of contact there, gets bumped into and fouled. Hey, what's good? Boulder Vaughn in the stream. Welcome in. Hope all is going well, man. Two and a half left to play in the first quarter of action here. Yeah, I got Nuggets again coming out of the West for me. So my bracket, I get the Celtics this year winning the chip. But I get them facing Denver in the finals. 2:33 left to go before halftime. Karl Anthony Towns at the free throw line, shooting 2. First one's good. Minnesota right now is doubling up Phoenix in the glass, 26-13. Offensive rebound, 7-0 in favor of the T-Wolves currently. Second shot here at the line for Cat. It's up and it's good. Able to get the bounce. 53-43. 2.5 left to go. 9 points, 5 rebounds by Cat. Handoff goes to the top. Beal. Dribbles up, drives inside to keep Beal. Step back jumper, 12-footer, splashes it. Yeah, that would be pretty cool right there to see a Thunder-Celtics finals matchup. The West is certainly more wide open. Who we'll see in the finals. I think it's going to be Denver, but you can make the case for Oklahoma City. Minnesota's another one. Other people go with Phoenix as a sleeper team, too. Bradley Beal, though, in his 12th season, he's never advanced past the conference semifinals. 5 playoff appearances by Beal. This will be 2 shots here at the line once again for Cat. First one's good. Yeah, I believe it's only Cat and Booker as the 2 Kentucky players in the court. Yeah, the Mavs were another team I was going to say. I think realistically, like, they could get there too, because I don't know how reliable, like, the whole injury thing once again with Kawhi is. Like if he's going to have to miss time, because he's been MIA for the past couple playoffs for Kawhi. Last year, he played Game 1 and then ended up not playing the rest of the games in the playoffs last year, because I remember he went off in that Game 1. Clippers played against the Suns in the first round a year ago as Grayson Allen attacks baseline to the cup, absorbs contact here by Gobert, and Allen will shoot 2 shots at the line. Oh, jeez. Hopefully your neighbor is feeling much better today, Jeffrey, and hopefully they'll get to feel better very soon. First one's good at the line by Allen. Yeah, so this article came out around an hour ago by ESPN. It's titled, Lou Clippers Still Don't Know Leonard's Status for Round 1. So he's questionable going into their game tomorrow. He hasn't played since late March due to knee inflammation by Kawhi. And last year, that's what kept him out of the playoffs. He had a knee injury last year. For Kawhi, too. He played that Game 1. He was great in Game 1 and then just sat out the rest of the playoffs. And then Phoenix took over and beat the Clippers after that in the series. It was basically done. Couple buckets recently. Minnesota just had one in transition after Phoenix buried the free throw. 59-47 now, down to 54 seconds left. It was a steal inside the key and then taken a distance by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I like Jaden McDaniels. And he's heading to the free throw line right now. Both teams in the bonus. First one's good at the line for McDaniels. Largest lead right now in the game, up by 13. Hey, what's good? Happy Face, welcome back in the stream. Thanks for joining in. Diamond first, welcome on board. Free throws are good, both of them, by Jaden McDaniels. 14-point lead. This was back and forth, close early on, and Minnesota's just been able to up this lead, and Phoenix started to miss their shots. They got crushed on the glass in this first half. Durant. Torres is right around the perimeter. Has that the left wing. Dribbles up. Torres is left. Kick out corner. And the three taken by Allen. Before the shot, we have a whistle here and a foul. Charge to Minnesota. It's away from the basketball. We have 44.6 seconds left to go. That'll be charged to Mike Conley. The only thing that's stopping the T-Wolves right now happens to be foul trouble. We'll go over that in just a moment. First one is good by Durant at the free throw line. Yeah, they've stacked the fouls up. Edwards has 3 right now for personal fouls. So Edwards has 3, 2 each between Gobert, Conley, and Anderson, and then 1 foul each between McDaniels, and Towns. 61-49. Under 40 seconds left to go before halftime. Nickeil Alexander-Walker took a 3, bricked off the back rim. Offensive rebound went directly back to Mike Conley. Phoenix wasn't able to box out that time. Conley's pass deflected and intercepted by Allen. Allen moves it up the floor off to Nurkic, and at the midcourt line, Mike Conley picks up the loose ball foul off the pass that was stolen away by Allen. So this will be more free throws coming up here at the line for Phoenix. Phoenix foul trouble so far. Devin Booker has 3. Been limited to just 7 points this entire quarter in 17 minutes. So he's been out towards the bench throughout the second stage of the second quarter as the first free throw goes down. Grayson Allen shooting 2. Second shot here by Allen. Looks to put it 1 and 10. He does. Right down the middle. 61-51. Final 18 seconds left to go before halftime. Mike Conley. Shot clock's turned off. Crosses the midcourt logo. Conley's working on Allen 101. The whole crowd comes up out of their seats right now for the final 10 and under remaining before halftime. Conley at the left wing. Conley crossover. Dribbles inside. Conley to the rim. Got it blocked by Nurkic. Loose ball. Durant tries to battle for it. Towns at the buzzer. Comes up with it. Puts it back up and in. And they won't count it. So it bounced off the back iron and in. But he couldn't get the shot off in time as he was battling for the loose ball. Came up with it and then got a shot off, but the buzzer had already sounded for the halftime buzzer. 61-51, we enter halftime. It's a 10-point advantage for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 1 of the playoffs versus the Phoenix Suns. Good matchup between these two teams so far. And we enter half in an even battle between these two teams, but Minnesota started to run away with it a little bit more recently. Yeah, it was even throughout most of it, and then the T-Wolves just, they've been making shots. Not really the case for Phoenix, the second portion of the second quarter. They went cold, and Durant was carrying the team. Booker got into foul trouble early on, and he's going to have to step up because they rely so heavily on their big three. Durant's got 18. He's leading this team right now, and then everybody else with single digits currently. So you're looking at Beal and Booker to get things going on, as Beal has only attempted 6 shots. He's 4 for 6 in the first half, 8 points by Bradley Beal. Devin Booker, though, he's been the one who's struggling. 7 points and 3 for 8 from the floor by Devin Booker going into halftime right now. They have just 5 different players who scored for Phoenix, whereas Minnesota has gone through 8 different scores right now with 3 players in double figures. Karl-Anthony Towns leading the way, 13 points perfect, 7 for 7 at the free throw line. 10 points by Anthony Edwards on 4 for 8 shooting with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. And then off the bench, Nickeil Alexander's Alexander Walker, he's been an X factor. He's got 12 points in 13 minutes right now and 5 for 8 shooting by Nikhil, and he's also got 3 steals in that first half. I got Minnesota winning this series here, so I do like the T-Wolves. I was really impressed what Minnesota did to the Celtics this year. They beat them the first time back in November in overtime, and then they took the Celtics to overtime the second time around in January, and the Celtics battled back and they won that game. That was a really good matchup there. I remember Edwards went off in that one. Hey, what's good? The Downtown Browns basketball on the stream. Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one here. Suns or T-Wolves, type it in. Yeah, I'd probably go with KG right there all time for favorite T-Wolves player of all time. I go with Kevin Garnett. Get out the little guy here in just a moment, so I'm going to get my tortoise out, and we'll do a Mr. Top showing for you guys right now at halftime in a couple minutes from now, so get ready for Mr. Tops. But yeah, thanks all for joining in, being a part of the stream. I'm actually away right now with my family. We're on vacation over in Cape Cod for a mini vacation away from where I currently stream. Hey, what's good? The swag of the channel, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Later tonight, feel free to join in for Lakers versus Nuggets. I'll be back live for that stream tomorrow, or later tonight as well. I posted in the community tab my upcoming schedule. So I got my softball doubleheader that got postponed from earlier today to tomorrow, so unfortunately I won't be able to cover game 1 for the Celtics tomorrow, since I have 2 games and I'm announcing for college softball in person tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow will probably be the Bucks against Pacers at 7 after I get back for tomorrow. I should be back for Celtics versus Heat game 2 on Wednesday. So I put up my upcoming streaming schedule. So I have later tonight Lakers against Nuggets that I plan on doing from the hotel. I'll be back tomorrow after the softball doubleheader back at my house. So probably we'll be back around 5 tomorrow or so. So I plan on covering Pacers Bucks at 7. And then I think it was Sixers Knicks on Monday at 7:30. I have on the schedule. I have game 2 between these 2 teams on Tuesday. That's at 7:30. So I'll be back with these 2 teams again at 7:30 on Tuesday. And then Celtics against Heat game 2 on Wednesday at 7. So I got all my my schedules posted in the community tab all the way from today through Wednesday for upcoming schedule. But yeah, I'll get the little guy out here in just a moment. So the legend, Mr. Tops, we'll see if he's awake and able to come on board, and I'll show you guys him during halftime here. So I'm just going to get my tortoise, Mr. Tops, going to put it on the break slide. I'll be on the break slide for like 10-15 seconds, just going to get Mr. Tops, and then we'll be back after the break slide for Mr. Tops' showing here at halftime. Alright, so I brought out Mr. Tops, my tortoise, with me right now during halftime, as he is awake and he's alert and looks like he's having a good time. So without any further ado, this is Mr. Tops, my pet tortoise, and there he is. He's going to be turning 9 years old in June, and he's been a good boy. He was great yesterday, nice and behaved, and there he is. So say hello to Mr. Tops the tortoise. Very good guy. Little guy has been doing well lately. That's the little guy right there, Mr. Tops. He's a Dalmatian Herman's tortoise. We got him from Arizona, actually. He was shipped in a box over 8 years ago, June of 2015. So he's going to be turning 9 in late June, so 2 months from now. Hey, what's good? June and July in the stream. Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, he used to fit in the palm of my hand. So he's grown now. He's about, yeah, he's almost like the size of like my phone. So that's how long he is. Usually like the size of my phone. I'm just gonna go. I'll do one last time here for Mr. Top. So here he is. If you are just coming on the stream here during halftime, this is my pet tortoise, Mr. Tops. He traveled along with me to vacation this week, and there we go. So gonna put him back right now, but he was featured during halftime. We'll get you out here probably around the fourth quarter again, buddy. Yeah, so right now, 10-point game, and thanks all for joining in. Right now, we're just at halftime, and yeah, he's pretty good sized tortoise that I have, and he travels extremely well. Like, we usually set him up in his crate that he has next to one of those lights, so he's able to get sunlight when he stays at the hotel with us, which keeps him nice and warm, which is good to see. He can't stay in environments that's below 60 degrees, or then it gets too cold for him. So we have to make sure that he's always like in like a warm environment, like above 60 degrees at all time. Yeah, Sun's having a lot of difficulty right now in the glass. Really lopsided on the rebound so far in this game. 27-14 is the rebound in favor of Minnesota right now. 9 rebounds by Gobert at the half. Cat has 5. For Phoenix, the top rebounder has 4. Between Durant and Allen, Nurkic has been limited to just 2 rebounds this entire game so far. Only thing that's been giving Minnesota a little bit of trouble has been foul problems right now. Edwards has 3 personal fouls. He played 19 minutes out of the first 24 in the first half for Edwards. 10 points for him, but still either way, they get themselves a 10-point lead right now. 13 by Cats. Perfect 7 for 7 at the free throw line. They've been able to make their free throws. 13 for 14 by Minnesota. 10 for 13 by Phoenix in this game at the free throw line. Yeah, he actually doesn't like pizza, so he's not a big pizza fan. He likes strawberries, though. He eats a lot of strawberries. He eats lettuce. He eats clovers, dandelions. So those are some of the things that he eats. Lettuce, romaine lettuce specifically. Lettuce, clovers, dandelions, strawberries, and then he gets calcium pellets from time to time for him. Yeah, Kawhi still TBD for tomorrow. Hasn't played since late March due to right knee inflammation by Kawhi, and it seems like every single playoffs he just like keeps on missing games. Last year was an issue for Kawhi that he was missing games last season in the playoffs. Played in the game one last year against Phoenix, and they took that game. The Clippers did, because I remember streaming that game in, I think it was either Lake George or Lake Placid last year. I was at the first night I was in Lake George. I think it might have been Lake George. They had played in the opening night on the Saturday during the late night, so I streamed that one. And Kawhi dropped down over 30, and they won that game last year. And then after that, Phoenix just took that series right from the Clippers because Kawhi wasn't ready to go for game two and so on after that. And his status is up in jeopardy once again for this playoffs. Yeah, I like the Mavs in that series. I think Luka and his team's going to be ready. And the last time actually when I was staying here at the same hotel, when I streamed from this hotel, the Celtics got crushed against the Clippers. We were down in Cape Cod back in January as well, and the Celtics got destroyed that game against the Clippers, and they look super impressive. But I mean, this season is a marathon, and if you can't have your stars healthy come playoff time, I mean, that's concerning because large bulk of the playoffs are basically like health driven, and you got to make sure you get your stars healthy and prepared for the playoffs, and that does not look like the case for some of these teams this year. These two teams, on the other hand, that's playing right now, they're fully healthy. They have everybody available besides one. I think there was one player listed out, which was like a bottom tier rotation player for each of these teams that was missing from the lineup today. Yeah, he's good at following people when they call him. So he doesn't hear really well for him, but feel like he can feel vibrations. So he can hear like low pitch voices, and he's able to follow that voice if it's like a lower pitch voice, and be able to follow into that room if they're calling for him. He likes to be around people. Like whenever we have him walk around the floor, sometimes in the kitchen, we have to just make sure we don't step on him when he's close by, because he likes to follow people and be next to them. So here we go. Start to the third quarter, right to left on the floor. Minnesota with the basketball. Gobert missed the shot inside the low post, went off the bottom left part of the glass. Up the floor. Here's a three transition. It's good. Bradley Beal lets it rain from downtown. It's a 7-point game. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Just getting started here with the second half of action. Beal with his three in transition cuts it to 7. Conley on the floor with McDaniels, Gobert, Towns, and Edwards. Edwards on the floor with 3 personal fouls. Step back 3, right corner. Edwards, no good. Bricked off the back rim. Rebound secured by Nurkic. Got to be better in the glass in the second half here at Phoenix. Jumper, good in the mid-range. Durant drills it for the 2. 13-foot J by Durant Parvus. 5-zip run to get his team within 5 right now. 9-zip run the last 2 minutes, but 5-zip coming out to start off the second half. Minnesota with the ball, attacking down inside the paint. Towns, and Towns cut around Allen, one defender. Nurkic from the backside picks up a foul here. So Nurkic was in the area, and this will actually send Towns to the free throw line right now, as the referee's got Nurkic in a technical. So this will be a free throw here by Towns, and the shot's good. Yeah, we put him outside, so we got like an enclosed entrapment that we have that like no birds can come over and scoop them up. So we have them in it's kind of like a tank outside that we have, that we put like a cover on top. That's one of those like window covers that still sunlight can get through, but nothing can fly in and be able to like go and pick them up like a bird or anything, as Durant rises for the jumper, drills the 2. Couple buckets here recently. 64-58 now the score. What's good, Daniel, in the stream? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Been a really good game between these two teams. Minnesota got up by double digits at one point, though Phoenix is creeping back in. Missed the layup from point-blank range by Minnesota. It was off the mark. No good by Conley. Outside to Durant. Durant at the right wing. Lobs it off to Booker. Booker had a swipe from behind. Out of bounds. Touched by Conley, though. This will stay Phoenix possession here with under 10 left to play in the third. Devin Booker's going to see if he can start to get going in this game. Slow start for Booker today. Inbound, out to the corner, a 3, no good. Around the rim and out, missed by Beal. Rebound secure by Karl-Anthony Towns from Minnesota. T-Wolves have it. Receiving its Cat. Cat attacks inside the paint. Somebody forgot their coverage right there for Phoenix, as Cat with a head full of steam gets downhill to the rim. Lays it up and in with a right-hand layup. 9.5 left to go in the third. 8-point advantage here for the T-Wolves. Booker at the left elbow. Swings it off across the floor. Off to Allen at the right wing. Allen dribbles towards his left at the free throw circle. Allen. Ooh, that's going to be an offensive foul. Lowers the boom right into the face area of Mike Conley, who goes down hard inside the free throw circle right now. Allen. Ooh. With a left elbow to the face of Conley. That is offensive. Committed by Grayson Allen on the offensive foul. Knocking down Conley. So turnover committed by Grayson Allen. The referees are actually going to look at this further, as they have gone to the monitor right now about this call. So Grayson Allen lowered the left elbow into the face of Mike Conley, who went down hard. And this is under review right now at the monitor to see if there's anything excessive as part of this. So right now, if you're joining in, this has been a really good game today. Minnesota was up by double digits at one point in the first half. Largest lead by 14. Late stage of the second quarter by Minnesota. And Phoenix, they led by 5 at one point in the first quarter. The Suns creeping in a little bit right now, but Minnesota keeps on shutting the door at the moment. Kevin Durant with 22, carrying the Suns over the third of the points scored through Durant in this game. Bradley Beal's got 11. Devin Booker just held to 7 on 3 for 9 shooting today. Minnesota much more balanced. 3 players double figures, scoring 16 and 6 with 4 assists by Karl-Anthony Towns, 12 each between Edwards and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and then 6 points, 10 rebounds by Rudy Gobert right now. Grayson Allen with a left elbow to the face of Mike Conley. So right now they're just determining whether they're going to upgrade this as a flagrant or not. Yeah, that's a hard left elbow there by Grayson Allen to the face of Mike Conley. So Allen will check back onto the court. And the call will stand. So they didn't see anything too excessive there. That was a huge left elbow, but I mean, it's nothing like Draymond Green type of level stuff right there by Grayson Allen. So just a common offensive foul. We get back to action. Minnesota with a possession. Cat launches a three straight away. Swoosh. He delivers in a triple by Karl-Anthony Towns. 11-point lead here for the T-Wolves. 9 minutes left to go in the third now. Cat's up to 19, the top scorer on the team. Beal. Bounce pass goes over to Allen. Allen on the floor with Nurkic, Beal, Booker, and Durant. Durant cuts, receives it at the right elbow. Durant dribbles out to the right wing. Durant takes the three, makes the three from downtown over Cat for the triple. That's a big three right there for KD. 8-point game. Durant with 25 points. He's got 7 this quarter. Edwards moves it out to the right wing. Gobert back to Edwards. Edwards, jumper, baseline, swoosh. 71-61. Anthony Edwards up to 14 right now in this game. Yeah, they have been letting them play throughout most of this game today, especially like early on. It's started to get a little bit choppy lately, but in the first quarter, they were letting them play a ton. Durant just buried another jumper, carrying his team right now for KD. Cat with a runner, missed off the back rim. Rebound secure by Beal here for Phoenix. Up the floor goes to Durant. Durant swings at a fastball, left corner. Booker with a three, no good off the mark. Missed the follow through there for Phoenix, but from the backside they were fouled. So Cat picks up the shooting foul from behind as Bradley Beal was going in to tip it in, got pushed from behind, and this should be 2 coming up here at the free throw line for Beal. Yeah, so they finally set it up. A couple players confused whether this was a shooting foul or not, but that was clearly in the follow through that Beal got contacted from the backside by Cat. So this will be 2 shots here by Beal at the free throw line. First one's good. (27) by Durant on 10 for 16 shooting. 11 now by Beal, and Beal makes both of the free throws. Hanging in right now for Phoenix. 7.5 left to go in the third. Minnesota with a possession. Conley on the floor. McDaniels, Gobert, Cat, and Edwards. Handoff goes to Conley. Conley at the left elbow, searching for a teammate to be open. Conley passes outside into the hands to Cat. 4 in the shot clock. Cat at the left wing. Cat has to launch. Shot clock down to 1. Makes the extra pass. Gobert. Touch pass left corner. Too much time as the clock expires. That's a shot clock violation committed by the T-Wolves. All out of sorts, that offensive set. And now Phoenix, it opens up the door for the opportunity right now for the Suns to cut it even further. They were down by 14, their largest deficit. Chance to put this even closer to a 4 or 3-point game. They look to draw a win in 4. They do. They make the jumper. 71-67. Bradley Beal knocks down a J at the right elbow as the T-Wolves have to burn a timeout. 7:03 left to go in the third quarter. Big time signs of life here for Phoenix in this third. Bradley Beal really stepping up in this third quarter now. Him and Durant start to go off. 27 by KD, 15 by Beal, and all they need is Devin Booker. Booker's just been limited to 7 points, 7 missed shots today by Booker on 3 for 10 shooting, but if they can get their third man going out of the big three, then they get a good chance to come back in this game and pick up the victory in game 1 of the series. Down by 14, and now they're down by just 4. So right now we head over to the timeout. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. And wow, what an excellent start to this series here. And Minnesota getting out of rhythm where their team recently 19 by Cat, but a shot clock violation on the previous offensive possession. Edwards has 14 right now. 6 for 11 from the floor today by Edwards. Only making 1 3 though. They don't have a hot hand from 3 from Minnesota. That's the issue for the T-Wolves right now. They're just 5 for 16 from 3. Phoenix is 5 for 14. And they did have a hot hand early on in the first quarter, coming off the bench with Royce O'Neal making 2 quick threes in a row via the bench, but it's been a lot of mid-range shots, deep twos that's got them right back in this game, and that's the sweet spot between Durant, Beal, Booker, where they like to go, and Durant and Booker, the two that's really been able to take over this third quarter right now and make this a game. So yeah, feel free to hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one tonight. Suns or T-Wolves, typing in. If you like to come on back later today for Lakers against Nuggets, feel free to do so. I'll be back around 8:30 p.m. for the second stream later tonight. So feel free to join that one in. Yeah, hoping they can draft a quarterback there. I've heard that they're possibly gonna trade back in the draft. They gotta address the need of quarterback for them. Bradley Beal, 8 points in the second, currently already with 7 points in the third, not even past the midway mark of this third quarter here. Starting to take control of this third quarter. Him and Durant have mounted a comeback. No, I never promote my YouTube channel. 7 minutes left to go in the third. Yeah, I'm doing like Division III college sports, so I never promote my YouTube channel when I announce for other colleges. Those people are just watching for specific sports, that's why. Because I cover a bunch of different sports. This is getting really sloppy. It's going to stay Phoenix ball. Wow, I thought they lost that there. The ball rolled out of bounds. It was last touched, though, by Minnesota out of bounds. 5 in the shot clock here for Phoenix as they have to hoist. Durant, no good on a jumper around the rim and out. Rebound control by Conley. Yeah, so I call, like, different types of sports I'm assigned for, like lacrosse, baseball, softball, volleyball, field hockey. Swimming, I've done a couple times before. Open up the bank. Anthony Edwards cashes home the 2 off the backboard. It's a tough shot, too, for the deep 2 at the left elbow off a leaner. 16 now by Edwards and 7 for 12 shooting midway through the third. Durant dribbles up to the elbow, takes the jumper, came up short. Ega fouled, though. So this will be 2 coming up at the line for KD. Yeah, I've had a bunch of parents come up to me after the games and say that I do a really good job doing the broadcasting stuff. So yeah, I know that the people who are watching the film is happy. I know a lot of the family members of the players who watch the film are happy. So that's always a good sign to make my listeners happy when they're always watching or hearing what I'm doing. First free throw is good at the line by Durant. 73-68. What's good, Adam on the stream? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Second free throw is no good. Around the rim and out. Yeah, thanks so much, Ren Jeff. Appreciate it. And I'm streaming this game from a hotel right now, so I can't even go 100% volume myself. I can't do the big ew erupting in loudness like I usually do, and when I stream from my room, as that is cashed home off the backboard +1. Up and off the glass it is scored by Gobert and 1 as he got fouled by Nurkic. 75-68. Yeah, I'm actually streaming from a hotel, so we got rooms right next to me for today only. I'm coming back tomorrow morning. Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it, man. I actually shared it out on my Twitter page for actually got a lot of people over on my Twitter page for this one. So my Twitter is up there in the left corner. It's got my Twitter name at Behind the Arc 14. So that's over in the left corner. I got that as a rotating slide for X that I have. I got it as subscribe that just popped up. Also the Discord. So all those links are posted in the description below this video. My Twitter at Behind the Arc 14. That link is in the description of this video. Also with a Discord server. And the merchandise and the memberships is out there as well. I also pinned the memberships in the chat. If anybody's interested, as low as $1.99 per month to become a channel member. Free throw before was good. 76-68, down to 5:11 left to go in the third. So we will have a timeout here taken on the court, and Phoenix will burn one. Hey, what's good? Charleston the stream, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it, man, for being back on the channel. We'll have another Mr. Top showing, if I can remember, during the fourth quarter break. And if you guys are new, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I plan on being back later tonight covering Lakers against Nuggets for the final stream tonight, so feel free to join in if you like. And tomorrow I put out in the community tab, I plan on being back for the Bucks against Pacers tomorrow night at 7. I'm out during the afternoon tomorrow. I have a doubleheader that I'm covering for college softball. The games got pushed from this morning to tomorrow afternoon. I'm coming back from Cape Cod with my family. We're on a vacation around an hour and a half away from my place today. So I was originally supposed to meet them up out after my games this morning, but they got rained out, so I was able to head to the Cape last night after I got home from work. And then I posted the entire streaming schedule for this week. I plan on covering a lot more streams very soon. I'm down to the very tail end of my season for the college in-person broadcasts. I think I only have 4 more broadcasts. They're all spread out starting after Sunday. which the last like 10, 12 days I was going nonstop. I had like 4 or 5 broadcasts every single day in a row, and now I have 4 or 5 broadcasts spread out between now and Mother's Day, basically. So it gives me a lot of time to prep and be able to focus more on the channel right now since playoffs started anyway today. Yeah, thanks so much, Charles. Appreciate it, man, for being a part in the stream once again. And yeah, feel free to join in for Lakers against Nuggets tonight. That should be a good game too. Phoenix hanging in right now. Bradley Beal's got 15. 7 this quarter by Beal. He had 8 points in the second quarter. 28 by Durant leading the way. Just got to get Booker to step up tonight, having a really tough game. Just 7 points by Booker. But the concern here for Phoenix has been last year with the depth. Still, it's the question marks between the 4, 5, and 6 options and so on the team. They only have 5 total scores this entire game for the Suns. Minnesota's beating them in terms of depth for this matchup. 8 different scores by Minnesota. Bench points is Minnesota by a large margin, leading bench points 21-6 right now in this game for the T-Wolves. 19 points by Karl-Anthony Towns, the top scorer for the T-Wolves. 16 by Anthony Edwards. 12 off the bench by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He is doubling the lone bench scorer for Phoenix with Royce O'Neal, who has 6. Yeah, crazy. Summer's almost here as well. Yeah, this summer's going to be a big summer for me. So me and my girlfriend are trying to see if we can hopefully purchase our first house together sometime this summer. So around like late May into June, we're going to start looking and see if we can start to get something sometime this summer. Edwards, that was a nice shot right there off the up fake, and then he pivoted and floated it up with a right-handed hook. 78-68. Under 5 minutes left to go in the third. Edwards up to 18 in this game. The number 2 scorer for the T-Wolves is Allen. Lost a dribble. He's down right now. In a lot of pain for Grayson Allen as well, and he is squinching. So we have stopped time in the clock. 4:44 left to go as Grayson Allen went down hard. Let's see, Allen. Non-contact off a spin, working on Towns. Yeah, very little contact there. Ooh. Oh, it looked like he rolled his ankle, his left shoe. Off the spin, collided with the front of the shoe of Cat's shoe. And looked like he might have rolled his ankle just a moment ago as he had a substitute out of the game. So Grayson Allen's not in right now. Missed 3 by the Suns. 4.5 left to go in the third. Edwards, jumper, he's got 18, looking for 20, came off short. Durant collects the defensive rebound, up the floor, finds Beal. Beal has it at the target center logo, attacks inside the paint. Beal to the rim, no good, ripped away, and a rebound by Cat for Minnesota. The T-Wolves will slow it down. 10-point lead for Minnesota in the first game of the opening round. Edwards, his pass deflected, intercepted by Durant here inside the key. Phoenix looks to push it. Booker flings it off to Durant, moves it outside Beal. On top, Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal gives it off to the top of the key to Nurkic. Nurkic looks to pass it, lobs it down low. Durant had it intercepted once again. Back-to-back turnovers committed by Phoenix. Minnesota's going to slow it down. 10-point advantage in a defensive battle this game has turned out to be. On the far side of the floor, 3:44 left to go. Royce O'Neal picks up a reach-and foul, which will stop the clock. Jaden McDaniels checks onto the floor now for Minnesota. Naz Reid is also in, so it's Reid, McDaniels, Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Gobert and Conley right now taking a breather on the bench. Inbound goes to Cats. And an offensive foul picked up, charged to Minnesota. Let's see. Cat trying to battle for position between him and Durant. Both of the guys tangled up together, and the referees rolled it offensive on Karl-Anthony Towns as he got tangled up trying to post up there, working on Durant. So 10-point game, 3.5 left to go. Third quarter, Phoenix with a possession. Booker looking to see if he can get something going. Booker, no good. He missed the layup. Too tall off the glass. Having a rough game tonight for Devin Booker. And once again, Minnesota will slow it down. Edwards accelerates inside. Double clutch. Edwards, no good. Offensive rebound. Gobert back in the game, replacing Cat. Gobert goes up off the putback, gets fouled. 2 shots coming up by Rudy Gobert. 3:11 left to go in the third. So Rudy Gobert, 2 free throws coming up here at the line for the T-Wolves. First one's up. First one is good. Just Phoenix, they rely so heavily on their big three that they just don't have a deep team for them. They only have 6 total points off the bench. Minnesota right now as a team has 21 to this point. 12 by Alexander Walker, 7 by Naz Reid, and then 2 by Kyle Anderson. That depth in Minnesota really catching up to Phoenix, as Phoenix has basically got 3 guys doing the bulk of the scoring throughout the entirety of the season. 72 plus the average between Durant, Beal, and Booker this season. The lob over the top, no good. It's swatted off the rim. It went back to Minnesota. The defense for the T-Wolves, top team in the NBA and fewest points allowed, are really coming alive right now in this one here. Under 3 minutes left to go in the third. Alexander Walker hands it off to Gobert. Off to Edwards. Edwards, jumper, free throw circle, bounced in, it's good. Anthony Edwards drops down to 2, and Phoenix can't get anything going offensively right now as they have to burn a timeout. 2:32 left to go. Third quarter. Minnesota, their defense taking this third quarter by storm. Both of these teams were scoreless in a monster scoring drought, and Anthony Edwards off the turnaround, able to end a massive field goal drought by either team and flipping it in a direction for the T-Wolves with a 13-point lead. So back to the timeout slide once again. If you guys keep on enjoying the content, feel free to keep on coming back to more streams, coming out supporting, and I'll be back live later tonight covering Lakers against Nuggets, so feel free to join in if you guys would like for that one too later tonight. Hey, what's good? Robert in the stream, welcome in, man. Yeah, T-Wolves looking really solid right now. Their defense has been incredibly strong in this third quarter. Minnesota's limiting Phoenix to now 32% shooting from 3 in this game. Phoenix has been one of the top tier 3-point shooting teams this season, and nobody besides Royce O'Neal has hit 2 threes or greater in this game. Everybody else has been either limited to 1 or 0 for made threes by the Suns. We come back from the timeout right now. 81-68, 2.5 left to play in the third. Inbound goes to Phoenix. Kevin Durant receives the inbound in the backcourt. He's got 28 out of the 68. Durant moves it off to Drew Eubanks off the bench. Back on the floor. Booker moves it outside. Royce O'Neal. He's made 2 threes off the bench. The only player to make multi-threes today. Here's a corner 3 by Eric Gordon. No good. They cannot get bench production. Bricked it off the back rim as the rebound gets controlled by Edwards. Here's the 5 on the floor for Minnesota. Final 2 minutes left to go in the third. Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And also Jaden McDaniels. Jumper, good at the elbow. Anthony Edwards starting to take over this game. 83-68, largest lead right here, right now for Minnesota, up by 15. Edwards, back-to-back Jays. Booker at the top, moves it outside. Gordon with a 3, off the rim, skidded out. Rebound and the offensive glass secure by O'Neal. Back to Booker. Booker guarded at the left wing perimeter. He's working on Nickeil Alexander-Walker, tough shot at the baseline, drew the foul though. This will be 2 shots coming up at the free throw line for Devin Booker. Minute 28 left to go in the third. Having a tough game offensively tonight by Booker. 2 out of the 3, and the big 3 showing up. Booker has been the lone player not to show up today. Just 7 total points by Booker on 3 for 11 shooting in 28 minutes. He's been shut down in this game. Resty in the stream, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. First one is good at the line by Booker. Yeah, this Minnesota team's different this season. Last year, they had a lot of internal issues heading over to the playoffs. Everything is clicking for them. They've been a consistent top 3 team throughout the entire NBA season this year for Minnesota. Super consistent for them. 83-70. They have been able to stay afloat at the top even when Cat missed over 15 games during the second part of the season. Recently came back. This is only his 3rd game back since injury. Corner 3, Naz Reid around the run out. Missed off the mark. Just above 1 minute left to go in the third here. Phoenix with the ball. Booker attacks at the elbow. Jumper. Booker no good around the rim and out. Tipped off the glass. Missed by O'Neal. That's the tough defense there from Minnesota as they were able to prevent anything from happening off a tip in there by Phoenix. Edwards towards his left. Edwards starting to take over. Launches the 3. And he buries it. Anthony Edwards trifecta as he makes it a 16-point lead. Bang, bang from the perimeter. And an offensive foul picked up on an illegal screen set by Phoenix all the way in their backcourt. 44.5 seconds left to go. And this has been the Anthony Edwards show right now in the second part of this third quarter for Minnesota. Edwards taking over this game in a big way. 25, the top score for the T-Wolves. Inbound goes to Edwards. Edwards, 15 on the shot clock as we approach 35 left to go. Gives it off to McDaniels. Kick out corner, wide open. 3, Naz Reid came off the rim short. Gobert was held up. Eubanks picks up the foul. That was a foul to give for Phoenix, so not in the bonus just yet is Minnesota. This will be an inbound here for the T-Wolves. 25 seconds left to go. Edwards having a big third quarter. You know he's going to get this ball right here, right now. He gets it to Edwards. Edwards off the inbound. Step back 3 in the air. And he makes another one. Bang, bang, back-to-back by Anthony Edwards. 19 up, the largest lead for the T-Wolves. Booker down the far side, bumped into and fouled. Naz Reid picks up the personal foul. 15 seconds left to go in the third. 18 in the quarter by Edwards, 28 total. Sensational third quarter by Edwards here. He is him absolutely. Edwards, 3 straight threes sizzled through the cylinder in a row. The jump of Anthony Edwards from the offseason that took over Team USA, was the star of Team USA in the FIBA World Cup during the summer. Booker makes the first free throw. Devin Booker just not looking like himself at all today in this game. Makes the second free throw, just 11 points in 29 minutes for Devin Booker right now. 15 seconds left to play in the third. You know he's going to get this ball right here. Anthony Edwards, he's made 3 threes in a row. Crosses the midcourt logo. 10 seconds left to play. Nickeil Alexander-Walker off to Edwards. Bounce pass, push out to the left corner. Alexander-Walker buries the 3. 2 seconds left to go. Edwards records the assist that time. It's 92-72. The 3/4 court shot misses over the top of the backboard at the buzzer. Anthony Edwards, 18 points in the third quarter. 3 straight threes in a row, plus an assist. That's the final 4 possessions to close out the end of the third. All scoring plays via threes or via an assist by Edwards. Just magnificent. What a third quarter here for Anthony Edwards. 92-72 after this was a back and forth game throughout the first 20 minutes has turned into Minnesota just taking this game completely over. This is a statement start here for the 3 seed in the bracket. They could have honestly been the 1 for Minnesota. Just so close between 1, 2, and 3 this year in the West. And they were a top 3 team basically throughout this entire season for the T-Wolves. Even when Cat went down, missed around 15 games due to injury, they were still there, hovering at the top alongside OKC and Denver. This team has not missed a beat. Top defense in the NBA, allowing 106.5 points per game. And, it was these 3 at the top this season, Oklahoma City, Denver, and Minnesota. And legitimately, you can make the case for those 3 teams to represent the West in the finals. I can even go and say Dallas as well, because a little bit concerned about the Clippers due to injury issues with Kawhi entering the playoffs. And playoff Luka usually is different during this time. So they're more of a dark horse team. But, wow. This has been super impressive for Minnesota. Last year, they had a lot of issues entering the playoffs with team chemistry. And this year, completely different. That Gobert and Cat have worked together. The double bigs in the lineup. They boast the top defense in the NBA. And Anthony Edwards, with his acceleration that he has had into superstardom, started off in the summer. This dude has just been able to take over games. I think Minnesota's the team. If there's a team that can give Denver a run for its money, look no further to the T-Wolves. Because last year, the Nuggets, even after they won the championship, they had said that the only team that basically posed them problems last year for the Nuggets were Minnesota, because of how physical and tough Minnesota's defense is. And well, what a start here for Minnesota. Minnesota's the deeper team in this series. 15 points by Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 7 by Naz Reid, 2 by Kyle Anderson, and just 6 points via the bench by Royce O'Neal. So bench points major factor, 24-6 for the T-Wolves. Yeah, Suns have the more experienced team. But Minnesota's like the deeper team. I think this is going to either way be a really good playoff series, because this is just one game out of potentially we could see 7, because this has to switch back for 3 and 4 to Phoenix. If you guys enjoyed the stream tonight, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I'll be back on later tonight covering Lakers against Nuggets around 8:30 p.m. So if you'd like to come on back, feel free to do so. I did not, but I actually bought a dress shirt today, which looked like it was brand new, for $2.50 over at the Salvation Army store down the road from the hotel. And somebody in that store was smelling. You could smell that reeking through the store. Phoenix just responded with a quick bucket to begin the fourth quarter. 92-74, missed jumper inside by Minnesota, and Gobert picks up the loose ball foul, trying to come up for the rebound off the miss, collided with a Suns player. So that's going to be a foul charge to Minnesota by Gobert. Inbound here for Phoenix, down by 18. This was a close game through the first 20 minutes, but Edwards just took the third quarter by storm. Booker, jumper, mid-range, got it for the 15-foot J. That's where they like to take their shots. Such a strong mid-range shooting team. Under 11 minutes left to go. If you can eliminate them from the mid-range shots, then you're taking them out of the game for Phoenix, and they've been pretty strong from three-point range this season too. Gobert had it swatted away from his hand, stolen inside a key by Eric Gordon for the Suns. The Suns really got to get bench points fast. Gordon attacking downhill as him and Conley collide together. Refs will say that Conley did not set his feet trying to take the charge, so this is going to be a defensive foul picked up, charge to Conley on the floor. Let's see here. Gordon receives the pass. Conley. Ooh. I think that should have been offensive. Conley, on that last replay, looked like he set his feet pretty clean there, and then Gordon rammed over him. But lucky for the Suns that this is going to go in Phoenix's direction. Inbound here for Phoenix. 10.5 left to play. Beal, bounce pass off the roll down. Nurkic fakes off one defender. Couldn't finish at the rim. Off the tip-in opportunity, though. He got fouled from behind. He got fouled by Gobert. So Nurkic will shoot 2 at the line. Foul trouble right now looks like this for Minnesota. 4 personal fouls up 2 for Gobert. 4 by Towns. Conley has got 5. Actually, that was on Conley. Yeah, that was on Conley first. So check that. Gobert was contesting the first one, but Conley was underneath him too. So that is on Conley. So Conley just picked up his 5th. So instead of Gobert having 5, Gobert still with 4. Conley has got 5. The first shot is good at the line for Nurkic. That's the only thing that's stopping the T-Wolves right now is foul trouble. 5 personal fouls by Conley, 4 each between Gobert and Towns at the moment. Edwards has 3. Edwards had 3 fouls in the first half. He had the most fouls out of anybody in the first half for Edwards. And foul trouble currently for Phoenix. Durant has 0 right now in this game. 3 personal fouls each between Nurkic and Booker. And Beal has 2. 92-77. Naz Reid drives, attacks the paint, shovels underneath. Gobert couldn't finish at the rim. Gobert got fouled by Beal, though. And this will be 2 shots at the free throw line coming up for Rudy Gobert. So we are down to 10:03 left to go. Maybe during the next timeout, we'll have our friendly little visitor be displayed here in the stream once again if he's been good for the past hour or so. First free throw is good at the line for Rudy Gobert. 16-point advantage now for Minnesota. (11 and 15 rebounds by Gobert. 10:03 left to go in the fourth. Both of the games, well, right now, if this stands, it will be a double-digit victory for Minnesota. The first game resulted in a double-digit win for the Cavs, 97-83 over the Magic in the first playoff game this afternoon. Second free throw is good by Gobert. Got a 17-point lead here for the T-Wolves. Dangerous 3 seed, boasting the top defense in the NBA. Phoenix with the ball. Beal got it swatted away, intercepted by Naz Reid with a steal. Reid up the floor, Euro step attacks, takes it a distance, he scores up and in off the backboard. 96-77 and a timeout by Phoenix. Naz Reid off the steal, cashes it home for 2. Bench points, paying dividends for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they've taken full control in this game on their home floor in Game 1. The NBA playoffs, 96-77. So we take the timeout right now, 9:47 left to go. And big difference has been bench points. Naz Reid's up to 9 points off the bench. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's got 15. Reid's got 9. Kyle Anderson's got 2. That is 26 bench points for Minnesota. Just 8 by Phoenix this entire game from the bench. So right now, we're on a timeout. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Feel free to join back in later tonight, 8:30 p.m. for Lakers against Nuggets. That should be a big one. for the first round matchup. Lakers the 7 seed, Nuggets the 2 seed. And we'll see if our special guest is ready here for his final appearance for today's stream. And if you do not catch Mr. Tops today and would like to come on back, or if you'd like to see Mr. Tops later on today, feel free to come on back for Lakers versus Nuggets, and I hope to have him displayed as well. But here he comes for the final time today. And looks like he's had a pretty good day. So, yep, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mr. Tops. Here he comes out once again. And what's good? Paul on the stream, welcome in. Yeah, so I'll be off for the next 2+ hours after this one, and then I'll be back at 8:30 for Lakers against Nuggets. But for the final time for this one, here's Mr. Tops, and then I'll have him back on for Lakers versus Nuggets at halftime later tonight as well for the second stream. So here he is. There's my tortoise, Mr. Tops. He travels really well, and he's a good boy, and there he is. He's clean, he's shiny, he's happy, and he's more active than he usually is, and he's very happy. So there he is. Little guy, Mr. Tops. Going to be turning 9 years old in June. He enjoys his 15 seconds of fame or so for Mr. Tops. Been a really good boy this spring season. Hopefully that continues, more Mr. Tops showings throughout the playoffs. Hey, what's good? Alex in the stream, welcome in. Yeah, no problem. Hope all is going well, man. And Mr. Tops will be back on. I hope to get him back on during halftime between the Lakers and the Nuggets later tonight. I put out my upcoming schedule on the community tab, so that is out there. I do have a college softball doubleheader tomorrow afternoon that got postponed from, it was supposed to be this morning. It got postponed to tomorrow. So I'll be out tomorrow covering a doubleheader during the afternoon for softball, but I plan on being back on Sunday night, hopefully for Bucks against Pacers tomorrow night. I posted my entire streaming schedule from tonight all the way through Wednesday. So I'm at the tail end of the announcing season for college. I have just 4 more games after this. All of them are spread out, which allows me to cover a lot of the playoff games. 9:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. We come back from the timeout and just a dominant performance by the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 1 on their home floor. Jumper, corner J, it's good by Durant at the right corner. They'll roll the 3. 16-point game. 96-80, 9.5 left to go here. Minnesota with a possession, the 5 on the floor. Edwards, Gobert, McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Naz Reid. Mike Conley has 5 personal fouls, so he's going to take a seat on the bench for a while now. Corner trees go by Naz Reid. 99-80, big response back there from Minnesota. So we approach 9 minutes left to go here in the fourth. Circling around inside the key, Booker. Bounce pass goes to Durant. Durant with 30+ in this game. Lost the ball near side towards the target center logo, but it's actually out of bounds off of Durant. Wow, so it went out of bounds off of Durant last, and then McDaniels tried to come up with a steal, but it was already out of bounds off of Durant. 19-point advantage for the T-Wolves. Looking to add on to it. Edwards, he has been him tonight in this game. He had 18 points individually in the third quarter. Sets up the open 3. And that is good by Nickeil Alexander-Walker, number 9. They reached the triple-digit mark. 102-80. Trouble right now for Phoenix. Bench points as Minnesota's poured in 18 via the bench from Alexander-Walker. Yeah, good question. Have I met anybody like famous, like super famous? I don't believe so. Good question though. Yeah, nobody really super famous. Like I haven't met anybody that's like super famous for like national like commentators like ESPN or Fox or CBS before. But definitely would love to someday. Missed shot off the back rim by Booker. He's having a tough game today for Devin Booker. Just 13 points on 4 for 15 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3-point range. So we're down to the final 8 minutes left to go. Edwards has it down low, and he scores for 2 more. Just an absolute clinic by Edwards, up to 31 on 7 rebounds, 6 assists for Anthony Edwards today. 105 to 80 from Minnesota, able to tee up a 3 just a moment ago. Edwards gets it away off of his hands into the hands here. Gobert flings it out to the wing. Naz Reid launches a 3 off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound. Edwards continues the possession. Corner 3 skidded off the rim, out of bounds. Last off of Gobert. Gotta love the growth of that young man right there. What he's been doing throughout the course of this season. Eric Gordon, far side of the floor, turns it over. Naz Reid, a hustle play, forces the turnover. This is getting out of reach here for the Suns right now. I thought that this game would be relatively close, and it looked like that in the first 20 minutes. We were going back and forth in the first 20 minutes. The largest lead was Minnesota by 6, Phoenix by 5. And then the previous 20 has been all T-Wolves. Yeah, Gus Johnson is my top commentator. Yeah, I'm trying to do as many sports as possible for me. Trying to do as much as possible. I've been asked to do so many different sports. Right now I'm in the middle of the season broadcasting for a couple of colleges, doing lacrosse, baseball, softball. I've done a lot of volleyball in the past, swimming. Phoenix just buried a 3. This is going to take us to a timeout. 6:52 left to go in the fourth. Swimming, I've done field hockey. I did a couple soccer games. I'm not like a big soccer fan or so. There's not much scoring that goes into it, but I've done a couple games for soccer before. I did water polo this year. That was pretty cool because it's fast moving, just like basketball. So it goes by super fast for water polo. They do 8-minute quarters for water polo. So those games fly right by. Yeah, Gus Edwards. I got Gus Johnson at the top of my list. Gus Edwards, running back in the NFL. Hey, appreciate it, Rusty. Yeah, Gus Johnson. A lot of the CBS guys are really good. Kevin Harlan, he's another one that's great. Ian Eagle, Jim Nance. A lot of the national guys are really good. Mike Breen, really good. ESPN. Like, those are some of the top guys. I'd say Gus Johnson, though, is my favorite. $31 by Edwards right now, and he's got 21 in the second half. Just been an incredible game by him. 13 for 20 from the floor. He's almost got a point a minute in this game. He's got 31 points in 33 minutes. 4 for 7 from 3. 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Just excellent. Really just solid game. Phoenix is in trouble, especially if they can't get any other guys involved in scoring. They're going to have to get their big 3 to basically score like 25 to 30 for every game if they want to have a chance. Yeah, I've actually never done MMA before. That's something that I'd be interested in picking up. I'd have to like watch film and see if I can pick that up there for MMA. I did something last year. I had to watch a ton of film on it because I had no clue at first how to do it. It was called artistic swimming, and it's like synchronized swimming. So it was totally different, but it was interesting. I had to watch like a bunch of different videos to be able to like gain knowledge about what to what to say when I commentated it. Durant's got 31. Beal with 15. Beal had a strong third quarter, but has been lacking in the first and the fourth quarters for Beal. Booker with 13, and he's really struggled, just 4 for 15 shooting in 35 minutes. And this is an issue by the Suns, is that they just don't have a deep enough team. 11 points off the bench by Royce O'Neal, but then again, they can only get 9 points from Nurkic and 4 points from Grayson Allen right now. And you got to have consistency throughout your team, especially when it comes to scoring. Back from the timeout, missed 3 by Mike Conley, who is out on the floor. He's got 5 personal fouls, but he is playing right now at the moment. Quick 3 by Booker, transition as he drills it. 105-86. Looks like it's too little too late. We'll see, though. We've seen comebacks this season happen, but looking that way right now. We'll see if this is the case here. Minnesota with under 6.5 left to go. Bounce pass left corner. Alexander Walker with a 3. No good. Tipped out to the perimeter. And an offensive rebound controlled by McDaniels. Yeah, no, she's not jealous. She actually likes it when I cover women's sports. She likes the whole like equality thing that I do. I usually take her to some of the games too that I cover. Yeah, I've done a bunch of stuff for volleyball because not a whole lot of broadcasters know how to announce women's volleyball. So that's like one of like the main sports that I cover through the fall. So I do a bunch of women's volleyball, and it's the speed of it's good. Like, I like the speed of the game, very similar to basketball. Like, those two sports are super fun to cover. Volleyball and also water polo. But she actually likes it. I take her to a lot of my games, and more so for the women's sports, because I usually don't take her to the baseball games because the baseball games are like the longest. So those are always like double headers, so I don't want her sitting there for like 5-6 hours while I broadcast and being a little bit bored during that time. So it goes by faster when I take her to like softball or water polo. She actually said that she liked it when I took her to water polo because the game lasted an hour and 15 minutes. Both of the free throws are good for the T-Wolves, and there's 6 minutes left. Alexander Walker picks up the foul. This will send Phoenix now to the bonus at the free throw line. So Booker will head to the free throw line here, shoot 2. Softball games are usually in hour 40 or so. They're actually a pretty good cheat code to earning some good money on the side, because some places pay by the hour, but most places pay by the game. So baseball lasts like 2:45, 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours if you get one of those games that's like 17-14, like a shootout or something like that. But softball, it's usually all low scoring, and they do the 8-run rule after 5 innings, whereas baseball does the 10-inning mercy rule after 7 for a 9-inning game. Corner 3, that is well off the mark, no good by Alexander Walker. We're under 5.5 left to go here. Eric Gordon fires the pass out to the left corner, and it's good by Royce O'Neal. So that's some much-needed bench points there for Phoenix, but looks like it's going to be too little too late as we're down to 5:01 left to go when O'Neal made that shot, and we'll take the timeout there. Yeah, I had a couple softball games that were actually like an hour and 10 minutes. It's crazy how fast those games fly by. Like in between innings, when the pitchers are warming up, the umpires only give the pitchers like 2 or 3 warm-up pitches, and that's it. And then they do balls in coming down. Whereas baseball, I feel like they get like more like 4, 5, 6 warm up pitches instead of softball, where you get like 2 or 3 pitches in between the innings. Yeah, the crazy thing about it is softball has got like no pitching rules. So tomorrow, the team that I have for softball, I'm at UMass Dartmouth covering softball tomorrow. The pitcher ranks top 10 in the nation in innings pitched, complete games, and appearances on the mound. They only have 2 total pitchers that's pitched the entire season, and they have a record of 16-8. So they played 24 games, and they've only pitched 2 entire pitchers for softball the entire season. Whereas baseball, they got like a bunch of pitching rules in terms of rest that you'll see like probably like 20 different pitchers by this time of the season pitching in 24 different games. That like a college baseball team will have 24, like 20 to 30 different pitchers potentially, whereas softball, one of the team that I have tomorrow for the game has only had 2 pitchers check in all season long in the rotation who has pitched. It's really just quite interesting. Most of the teams that I covered have 4 or 5 different pitchers who's pitched in the first like 20-25 games, but they only have 2 that's pitched, so it's quite interesting. Edwards has it at the baseline, slipped, and got it away from his hands, got deflected out of bounds off the Suns. The clock stops with 4.9 in the shot clock. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, when I was going through the pitching stats, I was just... I couldn't believe to see just 2 pitchers statted for the entire season that's combined to pitch. They've had... That pitcher alone has appeared in 19 out of the 24 games, their main pitcher, and the backup pitcher has appeared in 10 this season as this ball get deflected out of bounds. Yeah, that's awesome. Been a couple seasons recently where I've thought the Brewers would have a good chance to break through and make it to the World Series, but they've been pretty good recently in the regular season. They just haven't been able to break through lately. We're going to take another timeout right now on the floor. 4:33 left to go as we get down to towards the very end of this game. Cavs picked up a win in Game 1 over the Magic, 97-83. This has been the Anthony Edwards show in this third quarter. He went off. He had 18 points in the third, 31 total, with 4:33 now left to go in the fourth. Durant's got 31, but needed a lot more help from Beal and Booker. Plus, they really got to figure out who's like the 4, 5, 6 guys scoring on this team. Royce O'Neal actually has 14 off the bench. 18 by Booker, 15 by Beal. Durant's got 31 leading the way. 14 by Royce O'Neal off the bench, but basically it's been 4 guys carrying the bulk. Nurkic is 9, and then Grayson Allen with 4. Mike Conley, 5 personal fouls. He swatted it out of the hands of Durant, so he stays in the game. That was a clean swat that he stripped Durant from behind. We were showing the replay of that heading to the timeout. 4:33 left to go, so Conley is on the floor right now. He'll be the inbound passer underneath the hoop. He's got 5 personal fouls, 1 away from being out of this game. Inbound goes to Edwards at the right corner. Been putting a masterpiece with 31 points tonight for Edwards. Edwards towards his left around the perimeter. Edwards shaking big, dribbles up inside the key. Edwards floats with the shot, too tall off the top of the glass. Rebound gets tipped over to Booker. Got to get something urgently here for your Phoenix. O'Neal, no good around the rim and out. A rebound secure by Minnesota as we cross The 4-minute mark left to play right now in this game for the T-Wolves, about to pick up a first-round victory as they accelerate to the rim. Wide open for the layup scored by Conley. A lot of miscommunication right there defensively. Nobody picked up Mike Conley Jr. off the dribble, led to the wide open layup. 18-point Minnesota lead. Phoenix gonna go down in the series 0-1. Durant lost it, turnover. Edwards with an exclamation point. Throws it down with a two-handed flush off the steal. Anthony Edwards with 33. As he swiped it onto the hands of Durant, took it a distance, and he drew it down with authority. That's the exclamation part on this one, folks. Kevin Durant just too slow to pick up the loose ball. Edwards comes swooping in, and he took it a distance. And you could see this T-Wolves team just wanted it a whole lot more than Phoenix in this game. We take the timeout on the floor. 3:37 left to play. Anthony Edwards with 33, leading his team to victory. So I'll be back later tonight. Lakers against Nuggets in around 2 hours from now. So feel free to join in for Lakers versus Nuggets. And during halftime, I'll have another appearance of Mr. Tops if he is awake and wide awake and alert. We'll have Mr. Tops come back on the channel around halftime of the Lakers versus Nuggets game later tonight. So I'll be back on in just over 2 hours, around 8:30 p.m. later tonight. River in the stream, welcome in. Yeah, this has been a tough one for Phoenix here. Minnesota's way too deep, and Edwards just took control of this game in the second half. 14 points, 16 rebounds by Rudy Gobert. Phoenix today just destroyed, or Minnesota today destroyed Phoenix on the glass, 47-27 in favor of Minnesota. On the rebounds, it's 13-3 offensive rebounds. They scored a bunch of second chance points in this game for the T-Wolves right now. 20-point lead for Minnesota. It's down to 3.5 left to go. Hey, what's good? David on the stream, welcome in. Impressive. Really, really, really good start here to the series for Minnesota. And they've just been a consistent top team in the West all season long. Really put the nation on notice first month of the season, second week of the season, when they took the Celtics into overtime and they beat the Celtics and handed them their first ever loss of the season after a 5-0 start. 3:20 left to go. Yeah, I do like the T-Wolves in this series for my prediction. I've been going back and forth whether it's going to be 6 and 7. I do think it's going to be a lengthy series here. But this was, man, just what a statement start from Minnesota to begin this one. I just think that this T-Wolves team is different this year. Last year they had a lot of tension going into the playoffs. And they still were brought up by the Nuggets. The Nuggets, with their NBA championship run last year, said that their toughest series matchup came against Minnesota last year. That they had a battle back against the T-Wolves. T-Wolves gave them a couple of good runs last year. Hey, what's good? James in the stream, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. 3:15 left to go. Minnesota with the ball coming back from the timeout. Jumper, baseline. It is good for Minnesota. Number 23, Monte Morris. He was a key player a couple of years ago off the bench for Denver. Now on the T-Wolves for the season. Really deep team. He was a good sixth man from 2 playoff seasons ago for the Nuggets. Missed shot from at the rim there by Phoenix. Minnesota with a possession. Morris swings it off to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Got it stripped out of bounds. Lost it. And this will result in a turnover by Alexander-Walker. So I'll be back on later tonight. Lakers against Nuggets at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Feel free to join in. Mr. Tops, he drinks basically water for him, so he needs to stay hydrated himself. And sometimes we spray water on his face and on top of his shell to make sure that he's not dehydrated, to keep the fluids going through his body, to make sure that he's awake and conscious and alert. And yeah, he eats romaine lettuce. What I was talking about earlier today, that's like one of the key foods that he eats. Romaine lettuce. He eats a lot of strawberries, dandelions. He doesn't have a ton of strawberries, actually. Like once a while he'll have some. He has his calcium pellet sometimes. He has a lot of clovers he eats. He loves those. He's got a good appetite for clovers. Jordan McLaughlin makes the layup in the rotation right now. Phoenix scored right prior to that. Jumper misfired that time by the Suns, number 25. For Phoenix with Nasir Little. Hey, thanks so much, Mario, for joining in. And I'll have Mr. Tops back on at halftime later tonight for Lakers versus Nuggets. So if you'd like to come on by, feel free to do so, as that's a slam dunk. The two-handed flush shutting down the door by Luka Garza, National Player of the Year back in 2021 from the Iowa Hawkeyes. For Luka Garza, playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves. For Luka right now, as we're down to the final minutes. So Luka Garza in the rotation for the T-Wolves. Just an excellent start to this playoff series. 2 games today in the playoffs already. 2 of them resulting in double-digit victories this afternoon, as there is Garza, who lines up a 3 and splashes it. 120-93. Bench points been a major factor for Minnesota in this game. The first game today was the Cavs winning against the Magic in a defensive battle, 97-83. And we'll have our second double-digit victory of the NBA playoffs and back-to-back games to begin. Yes, I'll be back on later tonight. Feel free to join in. I'll be back on for Lakers against Nuggets at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 Central, 6:30 Mountain, 5:30 Pacific. Steal and layup scored by the Suns down to the final 15 and under. Left to go. The whole crowd comes up onto its feet. But what a start here for the Minnesota Timberwolves as they take Game 1 of the NBA playoffs, 120-95. The final score over the Phoenix Suns. I'll be back on for Lakers later tonight at the Nuggets for Game 1 of that series. Just an absolute clinic by Minnesota in this game. Anthony Edwards went off. He finishes with 33 points in 36 minutes, 14 for 24 shooting from the floor, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He made 3 straight threes in a row in the late stretch of the fourth quarter. Phoenix led by Kevin Durant with 31 points as we wrap up here in a dominant victory by the Minnesota Timberwolves. In game number 1, Minnesota goes up 1-0 over the Phoenix Suns. Minnesota out-rebounded Phoenix 52-28 on the glass in this game. And then also points in the paint, major factor in favor of the T-Wolves, 52-34 points in the paint, as their interior just so dominant in this matchup between Gobert and Towns. Gobert finished with 16 rebounds today for Rudy Gobert as we wrap up as this game goes final. 120-95, the final score in favor of Minnesota. I'll be back on around 2 hours from now covering Lakers against Nuggets. Feel free to join in, and we'll close out to the channel members. All channel members get a shout out at the end of each and every single one of my live streams here. We got Jason, Warren, Rajib, I Am Ghost, David, Russell, John, Mark, Kelly, Jeffrey, Vegas, Oink Oink, Michael, Katie, Bradley, Derek, Daniel, Sister Surround, Mario, Guido, Tristan, HT Sports Talk, Ice Ice Baby, Robin, Melinda, and Jack City. Thanks all for joining in, being a part of the stream for this one. today as Minnesota out to a great start, up 1-0, winning 120-95 against the Suns. I'll be back on a little bit later tonight, around 2 hours from now, for the Lakers versus Nuggets. Feel free to join in, and hopefully Mr. Tops will be back in during halftime of that stream. Feel free to check him out later tonight. Thanks all for joining in, and see you guys later tonight here.